Hey, does that sound like a guy that knows the camp is about to get started finally? You know who else is anxious? Fam, by the way, how are you doing? It's Friday, and yeah, weekend's here. Sun is overshining, but so what? It's summertime. Stop complaining about the heat. Training camp, though. The question is, who will not survive this year more than anything else? This year, the Niners' offseason collection of players appears to show they have finally gathered enough quality talents to stock not one but two teams with a potent attack on both sides of the ball. Yes, Rams, I'm talking to you while you're in here. We're the best guys in California. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like with Carrie Neal's whole state. Boy, that just jumped off the chat. Boy, these clowns who've been just laying in the sewer deeper than the Ninja Turtles have finally lucked out and somehow made it to the promised land, and now they think they're all okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? The 2022 camp should be the most difficult to audition for a position since Lynch and Shanahan actually took over. Because in 2017, it was all about to find some talents and build this team. In 2018, what do we have here? And then 2019, you know what happened. And you also know what happened in 2020. Every last one of them got hurt. Let's not dwell upon those nasty periods. So tonight, going to the phones to debate and predict who you believe are the Niners' potential player casualties, trending toward that cut list deadline. It's coming up a little later on. Of course, hey, where's Tony? Tony's probably going to come in. We have several Tonys. I'm talking about the Tony that likes to do the draft with me and things like that. Tony usually, he's probably already got it laid out. Guy's got spreadsheets like laid out, saying and defining why, who, and who's not going to make the team and who is going to make the team. Guy's amazing. So Tony, if you're watching me, we'll be looking for that sometime within the next 2 or 3 weeks. But the Niners will go into training camp with only a handful of locks to make the 53-man roster. We all probably agree on that. And yes, there are a number of players tight-roping over a roster spot and getting ready into the canyon of doom because, you know, this is a tough roster to make this year. But they can leave here and they can go make the Rams roster or probably the Seahawks roster because, you know, Pete Carroll is waiting because he knows we have quality material usually leaving camp each and every year, and he picks them up. They make a percentage up. There are times when the Hawks fans are delighted when they can pick up at least a percentage of our riffraff. They're not riffraff really, but they don't make this squad, so there are after. Well, I'm not going to continue with that. But anyway, let's bring up some names from some of the newbies as well as players we've all become acquainted with that probably are looking at potentially saying goodbye. And you got to go to Jimmy G. Yeah, no, hey, listen, I'm going to be fair in my assessments now. Like the hater boys and people like that have this much of a parameter in their thinking, I am not with you people. I have told you that a million times. I don't think that's shallow. Jimmy G is in trouble. He's still on the roster. And there's a strong chance he winds up not on the roster, though, at some point during camp, especially if Jimmy has anything to do with it. I know for one thing, I feel certain Jimmy G does not want anything to do with the 49ers any further. He'd like to get out of this. Because, come on. You know, if I'm Jimmy G, every few minutes, you're lucky. Trey Lance should be starting. I don't know what you're doing here. You know what? You lost that game, didn't you? So that's why Trey should be playing. You know, see, Jimmy's thinking, you know, I don't need this shit. I mean, I don't need this. Let me just go somewhere where I can work toward winning and it not be a distraction to them or me. So I guarantee he's trying to get out. So the 49ers, and as I said, the 49ers dragging butt on this is very interesting. We'll find out what happens to that. And then you get cornerback Darqueze Dennard. Dennard is a player who could quickly work his way off the bubble and comfortably into a roster spot. He'll be in the mix at nickel corner. But the Niners have a handful of young players, as you know, and draftees who will also get a chance to show what they can do at that spot as well. If a couple of young players play their way onto the roster, Darqueze could be the odd man out of what should be a serious battle for roster spots at cornerback. And then there's JaMycal Hasty. JaMycal Hasty, man, I mean, JaMychal is like in a real. Hasty worked almost exclusively as the Niners' third down back last year, right? Which already means you are kind of expendable. And how did he find? He did fine in that role, though. But the Niners now have a very crowded running back room, and Hasty will have to work. I mean, he'll have to bust a real butt to hold on to a spot. JaMychal can play special teams. That'll help because you know how Kyle is. He doesn't really want people on the team that are just one-dimensional. You need to be able to do and contribute other things. I can't have you standing here. I pay people by the hour. If you're just standing around doing nothing, I got to let you go. I really do. I think he does think that way sometimes. Except in the case of every now and then he gets players he doesn't even want on the field, and he plans on getting rid of them in the offseason. This could be it, Dante Pettis. And also Matty B. You can tell Kyle's getting ready to get rid of somebody. But anyway, JaMychal will lead the show as a more effective running back to be one of the three or four that stick around into the regular season. Then you got Trey third-round Sermon. Listen, people have asked me to back up off of Trey. I'm just saying. You know, if you're going to as a running back, if you're going to get picked up in the third round, you need to come in and show us something really quickly. His rookie year cannot be the real Trey Sermon. We need to only hope. Mrs. Sermon's baby boy was a healthy scratch in week 1. I said week 1. It's not a mistake. How'd you get scratched in week 1? Healthy. And then he got injured on his first pro carry in week 2. The man was not born under a lucky star, apparently, but maybe that's going to change. Sermon was a third-round pick in last year's draft. That's going to be helpful for him because the 49ers, they would be embarrassed to let him go now after picking him up in the third round. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that he's not locked into a job out of camp, though. He'll need to put together a strong preseason to snag one this year. No more, well, he'll come around. No, he's got to come around now. There's no we'll wait. And then there's Jeff Wilson Jr., too. Now, Wilson, he's kind of there with Sermon due to what we saw last year with Kyle. And Hasty, for that matter, for now, because they picked up 2 more bodies. Anyway, he was effective last year when filling in for Elijah Mitchell. But with Mitchell in the mix, Kyle turned Wilson into pretty much an observer for the rest of the season. Another thing going against Jay, and that made me, fam, I don't know about you, but every time I seen Elijah Mitchell out there, oh, my leg, man, I don't know what you get. Michael, you ready? Yeah. Elijah, you ready? Yeah. Give me the ball. Come on, Kyle, man. I can see from here he needs to sit down for a minute. Kyle kept running him. It is believed, though, that Kyle will not do that this year, from some what writers are saying, that he will be looking to go by committee. So, maybe Wilson, Kyle turned. Another thing going against Jay Wilson is his third-round pick, Tyrion Davis-Price, who runs with a similar downhill style. Now, Wilson, well, you know what? If you had to make a bet right now between Tyrion and Jeffrey, you'd probably say Tyrion, right? Because of just aesthetically, it looks like Tyrion Davis-Price would be the guy that's just going to come out there and dominate. But we might have thought the same thing about Trey Sermon last year. So we'll see. And then TDP will need to demonstrate why he was picked in the third round anyway. Running backs can't come in with accolades and all kind of things and then come in and flop. You got to come in and run. Because Elijah Mitchell didn't rank as high as Trey Sermon last year, and he came in and he put Trey so far in the rearview mirror that it was ridiculous. It may turn out that Wilson is one of the team's top runners out of camp. He'll have to prove it when the pads come on, though, because he was hurt last year. I figured Jeffrey's probably feeling a lot better this year. Well, if you had to bet money now, does Wilson make this squad and does he play a big role? He's got that kind of mind. I think he does. Anytime you get running backs in particular, if they were undrafted, it seems to really piss them off. And that's a good thing when you're a running back. If he does, I do hope the Niners will please stop picking up running backs in the third round. They'd be used for something else. And then you look at Jason Verrett, fam. The Niners may find throughout camp that Verrett and his veteran savvy are too important to let him go. I'm hoping that is the case, actually. His injury history is working against him to start camp though. So the 49ers probably might want, they may be worried about risking that he may, if we get rid of somebody else, Jason is far more superior than anybody we got on the roster, probably, but and we got rid of that kid, and we could use him now, right? So they're stuck between a rock and a hard place with that. On the other hand, if they have 5 or 6 players, corners, and need some to contribute on special teams, Brett may be out. You know what? When you think about Brett and what he's done with the 49ers and told him this and that, and they made deals, this is a bond between the team and Brett now, I think. I don't think he gets cut. If I had to bet right now, I'd say he stays. If for no other reason other than he's been a great ball player, and if he is okay, but you got to worry about who you're letting go. And then there's Kemoko Turay. Turay is the Niners' latest pass rush reclamation project. It worked out last year with Arden Key, and Arden Key's out getting employed by others. But good. Turay's here, and is coming in with a better track record than the likes of Key and Kerry Hyder, for that matter, who had success with the Niners the last couple of years. And again, this goes back to who's showing these guys how to kick butt out there. Enter the Jedi Master, Chris Kasurik. People play for Chris Kasurik. I don't know what he's telling them, what he's teaching them, how they're going about, what techniques are being polished up. Does Chris have an eye for watching guys? You know what you're doing wrong? Come on, let me show you. Let me show you how it's supposed to be done. I think he's one of those kind of coaches, too. These guys play for Chris. Now, Turay has a real shot to stick and make an impact. His job isn't guaranteed, though, in a deep defensive end group. Oh, my God. The Chris Kasurik was just talking about Drake the other day. Ooh, that is a tough spot to be in. It'll take a strong showing in camp the preseason for Turay to get off the bubble. He is on it. And then you got Ross Dwelly, right? And I know what you're saying, right? But Dwelly has been a steady mainstay in the Niners tight end room since joining the club in 2018 as a UDFA. His playing time dropped some last year as he fell behind Charlie Warner on the depth chart suddenly. Numbers may force some 49ers to go with just 3 tight ends, which could put Dwelly's job in jeopardy. I mean, any of these names that I've mentioned that you think, oh, no way. Let's just bring it up. But Dwelly's a good player who can play a handful of roles, but he's yet to come out and be that guy that takes the pressure off of George Kittle. I know what you're saying. That's because Jimmy's throwing the ball. Well, it's also his job to make sure that Jimmy knows he has to have the ball then, if you're going to go that route. If another tight end shows better receiving chops and works at least as a serviceable blocker, chances are they might surpass Dwelly on the depth chart, and we may be saying goodbye. Maybe. I like Dwelly a lot, though. I hope he stays. Anyway, let me put on my ears. I see Papa Dragon. Now, wherever you see Papa Dragon, the chances are that Chicago Mike is somewhere in the vicinity. They seem to run together.
Ronbo. This is turning into one of those talk shows like Boring Povich or something.
The thing is because with the environment, you've got those maniacal people that are hard to avoid or ignore on the chat. They're from Los Angeles. And then you got people who come in here, Marketing Pro, who sets fires, Michael T, who walks right on the edge of being out of line, but you can't get mad at him. And then you got Austin out of Texas. And then we're those kind of people that just people like to be around, Pop.
Poor Tony just wants to talk football,
I know.
Poor Tony from Atlanta, he just wants to talk football.
Yeah, and then there's Tony. And Tony's so lovable that I didn't mention him. Right, exactly. Tony's just here to talk ball. See? But we draw instigators to Pop because we are the standard. We are.
Yeah.
And, so it comes with the territory.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. With great power comes great responsibility, Ronbo.
Absolutely. And be slapping Rams fans is one of our responsibilities. But Pop, you look at the roster now and some of the guys that are on the bubble that I mentioned. Now, do you agree with any of those? Do you want to add anybody else? How you think?
I think Jimmy G's on the bubble, Ronbo.
Well, yeah, I mentioned him first.
I think he's clearly on the bubble. Uh, he's standing next to the bubble.
Pop.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, for the last time, Ronbo.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about those pictures sitting behind you.
I knew you were going there too.
What is
Wait,
Joe
wait, wait,
Montana?
wait, wait.
Well, let me ask you a question. What is Joe Montana
Yes.
and Jimmy G
Yeah.
have in common, Ronbo?
They're both very light complexion, and they're both Italian, from what I understand. I didn't know Joe was Italian. He is.
Ronbo, Jimmy G and Montana, neither one of them don't want a damn thing to do with the 49ers.
You know, you're absolutely right on that, aren't you? Joe, I've always loved Joe, but I realize what you just said is absolutely true. Joe doesn't really affiliate real close with the 49ers. He does things, but, you know, I agree.
Yeah, it's I mean, obviously camp is next week, you know, so who's my big bubble player? That's a great question. Man, oh man, who's the big bubble? I'd have to say on the offensive side of the ball, I'm gonna go with, besides Jimmy, I'm gonna go with Brunskill.
Ooh, there's a debatable person. Okay, who's going to beat him out, though? Because if you're going to say that, who's taking his job?
I don't know. I think you got Jalen Moore, who's more physically talented, and they picked up some rookies this year.
Oh, so, lots. You're right.
Yeah, you know, and then this is Brunskill's on a 1-year deal, so there's a possibility that they picked up some players. I'm not saying that they have the experience of Brunskill, because they don't. But are they more talented? The answer to that question is yes. But will that translate to the field?
And they need to prove it, Pop, because you're a youngster that comes in there. Oh man, I want this job so bad, and you pee on yourself and you ruin your chances. So, and then there's Brunskill's over there, Mr. Veteran. He's been through it all, seen it, done it, and maybe he may not be the most talented guy, but he still sits that kid home. You know.
You know, and the other thing too about that too that's really interesting is that the reason why he could be there, that only works if they found their center of the now and the future. If
Jake Brindle,
if the center is undecided, Brunskill could bounce over to center. So I think this is one of those situations where it's like you can do more than one job, and because you got some versatility, you have a better chance of sticking.
Agreed.
But I still wouldn't be surprised that, like, if the center position is settled, if Brunskill gets pushed out, that's a possibility. Oh man,
Pop, you know what? Now you got to fill the void, though. Who's going to play center? I just forgot about Brunskill's versatility to go to the middle and play the tackle. He may be one of the most versatile guys, even though he's a jack of all trades. He's not the master of any, but yeah.
It's camp. That's going to be the biggest battle, I think, to watch. I think out of all the bubbles, I think that's the most important, is that right guard, because the right guard really sets the tone for the strong side for your running game.
Yep.
So that's going to be huge. I think a lot of the running backs. I think the running backs are safe. The reason why I say that is because we go through so many of them.
Yeah, no.
And they
lots
gotta
of
be
tissues.
There.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think if there's anybody that doesn't fit moving forward, in my opinion, it's going to be Hasty. I think he may be the guy on the outside looking in.
I agree.
I think,
and not because he's a bad football player, but he's just up against a lot of tough competition in that room this year.
He's just He's small and kind of a third down back.
Yeah.
And I think that they're trying to get bigger and stronger. I think the 49ers are really trying to hurt people this year in the running game, personally. Just with who they're bringing in and how nasty some of these guys are.
Even Mitchell, he ain't that big, but Mitchell, according to Trent Williams, is a load.
No, Mitchell has put on weight. He put on 15 pounds.
Ooh.
So he's 215 now.
Not fat.
That's
a
lot of weight to put on though, and that's got to be functional.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's probably functional though. He doesn't look like the kind of guy just sitting around at McDonald's all day and getting greasy.
Yeah, so he should be playing around 210, 215. I mean, I think that he'll be fine. Let me see here. Wide receivers. The biggest question mark at wide receiver right now, honestly, I know everyone's going to shoot me for saying this. I think the biggest question mark right now is Debo.
I didn't know what to expect, but that for sure I did not. Are you putting Debo on the bubble?
I'm not putting him on the bubble. When I'm trying to figure out what Debo right now is that, he's going to be changing quarterbacks. He's got more rushing touchdowns than he has receiving touchdowns.
Is that? Wait a minute, Pop. Is that right?
I believe so.
Didn't he have over 20 touchdowns receiving? Or was that his total overall?
Now remember, any pass he catches behind the line of scrimmage is considered a run.
Well, okay. Yeah, I haven't looked. I thought I saw his.
I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I was definitely listening to a sports radio today, and they were talking about that.
More running touchdowns than him. Maybe that's why they rank him so badly too as a receiver. Maybe.
Yes. No. That part of that is one of the reasons. The other reason is the drops.
Yeah. The
drops is the big one. So the drops. I mean, I still believe personally, based on what I've seen from Debo, that I believe that he's probably a top 7 running back in the league if he's at running back. But receiver, I definitely would probably put him somewhere around 10 or 11. But if you combine the position, I think he's a top 5 playmaker.
Yeah.
But if he's
I tell you, he's got to atone. Anyway, Pop, we're running out of time. I love hearing you talk, though, Pop. We got to run out of time, though, since I come in so late every night.
Well, I know you got your agenda in the bedroom, Playboy.
Pop, and I wish you would keep that under the wrap. You know what I'm saying? Good Lord.
You just be hanging. Hey, so Pop. Anyway, Ronbo, thanks for the platform, brother.
Hey, thanks for being here on it too. Appreciate you, Pop. You entertaining comic. Hey, tell me Sunday.
Yeah. Keep that going though. Keep that Debo talk going though, because he's in the middle of a contract negotiation. What are we gonna pay this guy? Can we get him in before camp? And what do you do with the Debo who don't want to run the ball? He don't want to run the ball.
Pop, and I'm already feeling you on that, because I was thinking today we talk about this, but Sunday, if they hadn't signed Debo, the subject going to be Debo remains unsigned. Look out.
He's not going to. He's going to get signed.
He better get signed between now and tomorrow, I'm telling you. Because he's going to be mad as hell. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's going to be 15 minutes after camp starts.
Just to mess with him. And there's security's up at the office for trying to restrain him. Who y'all playing with? You make me wait this long for what? What about Bob, let me see you Sunday, okay?
Man, Ken Lyles be like, I'm not the one, dog. Don't play with me. I'm not the one.
All right, fam. Let's see. Hey, bam and boom. Shout out to him and a wonderful wife.
They keep trying to stay up for you, Ronbo, man. They just can't hang.
We got to do better. Okay.
They better sign Debo because you know what? Bam Bam got her Debo jersey today. It came in. So she got the official raised letters Debo jersey. Yeah. She got what she wanted. She earned it. Good for her. I just hope that Debo's still here. We don't.
So how could you say that? Pop, say goodnight. I'll see you Sunday. Oh, God. Let us segue now to KC. And the Big Show says he's on everyone who hates him's bubble. He's talking about Debo. And Joe also says agree about Brunskill. Jason Poe will win. You're right. Hey, Big Show, I got plans for Jason Poe though. I don't want him to be limited to just offensive line. I want him on short goal line stands and things like that, running the ball. Hey, Casey.
What's shaking, Ronbo?
Casey, there's lots of players in camp that are probably shaking. Can you imagine, Casey? There you are. You got into an NFL camp, and you got to work out now. You see 90 guys out there. And if you have any insecurities, you're thinking, man, I really hope I could make this team. If you say that to yourself, I hope I can make this team, you're probably not going to make it. If you say, these guys are just in here wasting my time because I know I'm making this team, you got to talk like that, right? But the scary guys. But Casey, I've heard for a long time.
Did you ever hear that story about Pat McAfee, the punter, winning a poker tournament and then like getting a bus ticket to Florida like high school coaching camp or something, and he impressed somebody and then he got a scholarship or something like that.
Is that the story on McAfee?
Yeah,
wow.
he won a poker tournament.
See,
to get some money.
See, some guys are just born under that lucky star, man. First he won that tournament, and then he goes to the NFL and he gets in there. That's just crazy.
You know, to your point about the training camp and insecurities, I looked at the thumbnail tonight, and I thought it said, "Who will survive?" And then I said, "Oh, who will?" It says, "Who will not survive?"
That's right. Because hey, Casey, look at this lineup of talent this year. The 49ers, Kyle and John have evolved into. We know exactly what we're doing now. Yeah. We know who's going to give us what we want, and we're looking for them and only them. So you know.
And you know what? I'd like to just say about Papa Dragon. I don't agree with the Debo comment. I'm not worried about Debo, and here's why, Ronbo. Because like Debo has the numbers. Like I don't know. Like the whole like he had more rushing touchdowns than like receiving. I don't know how that makes a difference. But the point is that he had the most all-purpose yards, and he did that with frankly a quarterback who isn't a top 10 quarterback. Hmm. So to think that Cooper Kupp had the year he had with the quarterback he had and the team he had. Okay, but look what Debo did. So I think Debo should have gotten Offensive Player of the Year last year in the NFL honors. But
in case you allude to another good point too, because here's the thing: if Kyle Shanahan, and I don't know if he's going to change that this year, everybody seems to think he is. If Kyle Shanahan wants to be more in the air this year, you see, because Kyle does love to run that football, and from what it looks like now, he's still building up an arsenal of running backs that he's still going to want to do that. So the chances are like reduced for a wide receiver to get a lot of plays. He'll get them if they're predicated off of a good run success. That's what Kyle likes to do. And Debo was already restricted a little bit to that degree too. And if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo and don't think he's very good, then you got that. So yeah. It's Debo gets not enough love, Papa. Pop's just mean.
He really doesn't, man. I mean, he's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a bigger Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. He gets it done. He gets it done. That's what I want. I don't care how you get it done. If you get the ball behind the line of scrimmage, you get the ball 5 yards out, just get it done. And Debo does. Lord help the guy that's trying to stop him, too. Whew, man.
Yeah. But, they do need a big year from the defense. They need a big year from Fred, Javon Kinlaw. We know Bosa's going to be there. They need another big year, Eric. And, I don't know, is Josh Norman still on the team? Secondary is good. But, Charvarius Ward, like, I'm a little concerned that, like, him and Jimmy Ward, like, might get a little hot-headed this year. I mean,
About what?
I don't know. Because they're
They're
both
fine.
just kind of hot-headed players.
They like
But,
each other, though.
Yeah. No, they're
They
good.
play well together, too.
They're good. No, like Jimmy's like top 5 safeties in the league. I love Jimmy. I just wish there was this like he didn't play with the chip on his shoulder so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might have made a difference in that Rams game, Jimmy. There was no need to go over there and put the helmet to an OBJ that was already in the dirt. You added 15 more yards to a play that may have not resulted in the way that it did. It's okay though, because he had to get that off his chest. Okay, I understand.
And you know, I'm and also about the drops too. I don't think of Debo as having drops. Like, I think of Debo as being a natural catcher, and I don't. There's not one big drop that Debo's ever had that comes to mind when I think of drops. I think of DK Metcalf is when I think of drops.
You know what's so funny? You mentioned that, Casey. People talk about Debo's drops. I don't remember him dropping a lot of passes.
No, I don't.
Anybody, give me some games so I can go back and rewatch. Give me some games where Debo had an excessive amount of drops. I'm like you. I don't remember him
He
dropping
dropped
the
a lot of
ball.
balls, Ronbo.
Yeah, well, give me some
Dropped
games.
a lot of
But
balls.
like
Give me
what?
some games. Give me some games.
What big? What like
dropped the
what
ball
big
a lot.
moment? In what big moment?
He in the Green Bay game, we couldn't get the ball rolling until the fourth quarter. There was
The regular season?
No, that was the playoffs. He couldn't catch the ball. He was dropping a lot of passes in that playoff game against Green Bay.
But who's throwing to him? Jimmy's throwing to him. Jimmy does this with George Kittle.
Exactly.
Jimmy, you know, like that's not just Debo. Like,
Well,
like Jimmy
Casey,
didn't have the best year last year.
if
The
the ball
receiver's
hits
supposed
him,
to make the quarterback
he's
look
gotta make
good.
the
If
play.
if the ball's thrown to you, you got to catch it. Every
Yeah, you can't-
quarterback doesn't say it.
that
Every
can't be
receiver
blamed
said
on
it.
Jimmy.
If the ball's thrown to you,
But the thing is,
Jerry done said it before. Jerry done said the ball.
I just don't think there's.
No
I
matter
just
how
don't
it
think
looks like,
there's.
you got to catch that ball.
no, but the thing
I
is,
just don't think there's anyone on the team that. I don't think there's anyone on the team that's like known for drops though.
you know, the thing is, it was
The
ice
main one is Debo.
cold.
You dropped a lot of balls too. He's not the only one. But
Yeah.
it goes back from Jimmy throwing those kind of ball either in front of you, way too in front of you, way
Don't
too
start,
behind
guys.
you.
Do
Jimmy
not
done did that a
start
lot.
blaming everything on. Jimmy's got to go throw the ball and catch it. Come on now. Come on.
Well,
Here's the thing.
Okay, when you look at Kaepernick, what was Kaepernick doing? Kaepernick was throwing the ball too hard. They couldn't catch that ball.
What's Jimmy doing?
So
Throwing too
Trey
soft?
started doing the same thing. It's good. Yeah. He either threw it. When what's name came in.
All right.
When he was
You know
with
what?
Tom Too, he was throwing it too soft.
What I can't accept is a 50-50 thing, okay? Jimmy, give him some fault, okay. But if the receiver's getting hit in the hands, I'm sorry. He's got to get 50% of that, too.
No, he did. Some of those balls Debo had in his chest and he dropped. So did I use. So I'm not
In the
fully
chest,
blaming
that's a
him.
70-30 thing.
But at the same time, like,
coming from that.
but like at the same time, like all those people that were mentioned are still way better catchers than DK Metcalf.
Casey, he doesn't like the Hawks. Casey, we got to go, Case. Emilio.
Yeah, go back to the AFC West, Seattle. You don't even know you were in the AFC West. And all the Rams fans out there in your brand new gear, you got the tags on still.
Case, we're going to go. We're going to go. I'll look for you Sunday, though. And stop being absent at Mason. Where are you? All right.
Yeah, for the Holy Reverend Ronbo show on Sunday night, I'll be there.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good, Ronbo.
I'll be holding same sermon.
Exercise the demons.
There you go.
All right, man.
Night, fam. And there's ice. Gonna be fun year, Ronbo, no matter who leads. Yeah, should be. It is going to be interesting. I must say I'm curious to see what we go through with the transition between Trey, the offense, and what we're used to, as opposed to what we're going to have to get used to, you know, the patience involved. You know what's going to happen, though? I already see it. On Twitter, I've been raging with people for the last 2 or 3 days. But here's the thing. Now, and I'm not going to be, I'm telling you right now, mark my words, I am not going to be involved in any stupid hater wars. But what's going to happen now is you got that contingent that supports Jimmy G versus the contingent that doesn't support Jimmy G. Now, if Trey comes in and he struggles, here comes the BS. Hey, Hey, Rowan Chakravarti, the 49er website man. But hey, Rowan, I saw you today. I was a little late, though. I didn't promote it, but I saw you today having a chat. But Rowan, come on in.
Hey man, how you doing?
Oh, Rowan, it's weekend time. You can't be anything but good. It's Friday, too, the beginning of the weekend. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just came back
Mm.
from a vacation,
Mm.
getting ready, getting strapped up for training camp,
Oh,
all this
that's why
fun
you said what you
stuff.
said last time. You were in the morning. You said we're in the morning here. Rowan,
I
if I may
was,
ask, where'd you vacation?
yeah, I was in Europe for about a week and a half.
Wow. God,
Yeah,
now
I
that's
was in Europe for a little bit, just taking a little bit of a vacation.
that's a
So that's where I
vacation.
was.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we're looking at guys that you probably already taken a look at. Because this roster now is not an easy one to make. We're looking at some of the guys you might think that may struggle to get on this team that may make other teams.
Ah, got it. So like the training camp battle type of players that probably get claimed elsewhere pretty much.
Kind of, yeah. Because those are the guys that are most surprising. Those are the ones we'll be saying, "Ooh, he got dropped," and then we'll say, "Why?" It's like I was telling Pop about Brunskill. I says, "Okay, you can get rid of Brunskill, but who's going to take that spot?" Brunskill can play center, albeit maybe not so well. He's pretty used to playing right guard. He didn't do a good job last year, but he did the year before. And it seems that Aaron Donald doesn't really like to play against him, so there's another credential. But let me
Yeah.
stop. Go ahead, Rowan.
I think Brunskill is actually a very intriguing candidate. I don't necessarily think he will, but I can sense the argument. The
Yeah.
49ers will carry 9 offensive linemen on this roster. I don't think they have the capacity to carry 10 just because they have so much depth on the defensive line, in the secondary, and in several other positions as well. I
Mm.
think they have a ton of depth, meaning they can only carry 9 offensive linemen. When you look at the current roster, you've got Trent Williams, uh, Aaron Banks,
Mm-hmm.
Jake Brendel,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Moore, Mike McGlinchey. That's
Yeah.
5 offensive linemen. Then you've got
Right.
Nick Zakel, Justin
Mm-hmm.
Skule,
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Burford,
Mm-hmm.
and then you also have Colton McKivitz. That's
Mm-hmm.
9 already, and I'm not including Brunskill. Brunskill right now is suffering knee tendonitis. It's unsure
Uh-oh.
if he will be available during training camp, meaning Jalen Moore will continue to take the first team reps. I think if Brunskill isn't healthy,
Mm-hmm.
Brunskill might be cut because Brunskill right now is on a 1 year, $2.54 million deal,
Mm-hmm.
but the entirety of it is non-guaranteed. He signed a tender that is non-guaranteed. So the 49ers can save $2.5 million if they cut Daniel Brunskill. However, I do think he's a valuable piece of this offensive line. I do think that even if he doesn't make the roster, doesn't make the starting lineup, if
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Moore does beat him out, I think that Brunskill would still be a valuable backup, and you cut a guy like Justin Skule to try and protect him on the practice squad. But that is an intriguing
Oh,
candidate.
right. Let me add to that. You know what? The new league rule, you can keep a couple of extra offensive linemen on your practice squad. Yeah,
Yeah,
in this year they expand that, but they have to be offensive linemen.
correct. So there's like a 55. You can keep a couple of extra players on the active game day roster, but they
Oh,
have
that's
to
what it
be
is.
offensive linemen. I think
Yeah,
it's
that's what it
two
is.
extra players that can be offensive linemen. So
Hmm.
essentially, Skule can be a call up every single week as an extra body. If needed, or if injuries occur, you can just call up Skule like that. So
Hmm.
it's a scenario like that. I think Brunskill is interesting. I don't necessarily think he's a I think I wouldn't be surprised if he's cut, but I wouldn't say that
He's a lock
it's
to
the
get cut.
likelier option, just because I
Yeah,
think he's a good backup as well.
yeah, that's
I
true.
think the defensive line though is where you'll see a lot of interesting debate because I
Oh,
don't think that they
woo.
can carry. I don't think they can carry a lot, and you've got a good amount of guys. I know a lot of people like Kerry Hyder. I'm not really a part of that bunch, but defensive tackles wise, you've got Armstead, Givens, Hurst. You've got Omenahue who could even slide in, but you've got Kalia Davis. You've got Hassan Ridgeway and Javon Kinlaw. Right there, I just named 7 guys, not including Omenahue, and the 49ers won't be able to afford to carry 7 defensive linemen, right? So it's very interesting. How do they balance the defensive ends and the defensive tackles? Because normally they like edges more than the tackles because edges have versatility, like the Omenihu, like the Jordan Willises, like the Ebucoms even at times, but more so the two guys I mentioned before and Arden Key from last year. So I wonder what they do there.
Name how many? Let me count them again. Did you mention Givens? This is.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a. We got an army in that room, and then he just picked up this other guy for reasons unknown. Just the other day.
Robert Nikomdiche. I think Robert Nikomdiche really is a guy who he's just going to be a camp body. I don't expect him to make the active roster. He could be a training camp stash, not training camp, practice squad stash guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think Nikomdiche, he's not as familiar with the system compared to other players, and I also don't think he's as talented as other players on the roster.
Yeah,
but
he's been in the league too long.
Yeah, just counting it out loud, we have Armstead, Bosa, Ebucom, Omenihu, Willis, Kevin Givens, Hurst, Kinlaw, Ridgeway, and Drake Jackson. That's 10 guys
10
right
guys.
there.
You know, if I had Hurst is not my. I think that calf, if he's going to have lingering issues, that minor, and I mean I don't have a right to call it minor, but how do you go a whole year with a calf that can't let you play?
I think it was more so the 49ers just being like the 49ers liking the guys that they had, wanted to keep him on IR and just having him prepared for 22. Because when he's healthy, Maurice Hurst is something special. He is a starting caliber defensive tackle.
My God, yes, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, defensive line is really where I'm looking. I think offensive line who starts will be interesting. Especially at right guard. Will it be Danny Brunskill? Will it be Jalen Moore?
Call it now.
Who might that be?
Call it now. Who's going to start at right guard?
If Brunskill ends up... Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say if Brunskill ends up being healthy, he wins the job. If Brunskill does not recover from the knee tendonitis in time, Moore gets the job.
Yeah, I agree. Because you're not going to recover from knee tendonitis between now and cut day if you have it.
Right. And I mean, the one thing is I don't know how long he's had it. I know he's had it since OTAs. He hasn't practiced all offseason. He has been out. Moore has had all the first team snaps at right guard the entire offseason because Brunskill's had it. I don't know when if he'll recover in time to start training camp because offensive line this year is more important than ever because of the connection with Trey Lance. And also, I think that right guard spot will be a little easier for Moore to claim if Brunskill does struggle because Mike McGlinchey's there. And Mike McGlinchey and Jalen Moore, Mike McGlinchey is an established veteran who knows the system very well. And so that's someone who could help out Moore, and Moore can just focus on his own work.
And I agree with that because and also Jalen is not a tackle, and they put him out there. He actually is a guard. So
I agree. I thought he profiled as a guard, as a 2022 pick as a guard. Right. I thought he was a guard when he was drafted.
He thought so too until he got to San Francisco. I'm going to play what? Okay, no problem. I'm here to work. So hey, Ron, we're going to go. Good stuff as usual. I'll be back Sunday with something I can find controversial. Debo's easy. And whatever stuff
be
you
on the
come up
lookout
with.
though, because I'm gonna go to training camp. I've got tickets, and I will be writing my coverage reports daily.
All right.
When camp starts.
I always keep an eye on you anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. And fam, you should keep an eye on Rowan Chakravarthy. He is on 49ers Web Zone, and Rowan's always got some that you got to read. You can't help yourself. Rowan, thanks, fam. We'll talk to you later. And Shabazz.
Ronbo.
Shabazz, I know you're at work. I'm glad you took out a minute and talked to us, Shabazz. Shabazz, are you trying to get them people to calm down? Are they fighting?
It's Friday night, Ronbo night.
Oh, yeah.
Shabazz is doing this job as usual.
I thought they were angry.
Honey, I see.
Yeah. Shabazz, you're security, aren't you? Yeah. You do run into people that have lost their minds. Yeah.
Yeah, every night I have to give them that Darth Vader Ronbo, but I ain't got to get nobody to Vader choke, Ronbo. Because I am 6'3", 330 pounds, Ronbo. I am a big fella, Ronbo.
And probably when people walk in, they can see in your eyes you're not in the mood to be put to work. So behave or be gone.
Yeah. Behave or be smooth.
You know?
Behave or be smooth.
Shabazz,
But you know what, Ronbo? I hear
Yes.
everybody was saying who we think gonna get cut and who ain't gonna make this team.
Yes.
I got a couple people
All
fan
right.
favorites that ain't gonna make it.
All right.
And I know what dealership they got you at? Everywhere. Hold on, let me holler back at you. But I'll holler back at you in a second. One name that come to mind that I'm for sure that I'm gonna bet on that ain't making this team is a fan running back. I think caught a brain freeze. Hold on one second. I was just looking at him. And I want to say,
What position?
hold on, running back.
Trey Sermon? Jermichael
No,
Hasty?
Trey Sermon's going to make it.
Jermichael Hasty.
No, Jermichael.
Jeff Wilson?
Jeff Wilson.
Hmm.
Jeff Wilson's not making this team
Nah? Okay.
because Jeff Wilson is a power back, Ronbo.
As is
He's a power
Tyrion
back.
Davis Price, yeah.
Right, and there's this Trey Sermon.
So if I would have came out and cried and bitched first, would have been.
Shabazz? Shabazz is going.
All right,
Shabazz
Ronbo.
going to grab. Look, I'm on the phone. If y'all can't behave until I get off the phone, just
All right, that's it. That's my other bar. Have fun. This is people that's drinking on a Friday night, Ronbo, and they want to get upset with me because people are fighting over pool tables. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Yeah, so
Shabazz, you got the right
it's
temperament.
totally not my.
Everybody can't do what you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
and keep a level head
No,
under that kind of stress.
No.
So I'm
Right, you got
proud
to
of
be
you.
smooth.
Yeah.
All right. So, but Jeff Wilson might not make this team, and Ross Dooley might not make this team, like you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I don't know. Ross gradually got less. I guess Charlie Warner is coming on. Charlie Warner was a good blocker coming out of school anyway, and that's why they picked him up in the first place to take some of that work off of George Kittle. So yeah, I guess that's what they were looking at. It might be looking at. We'll see. But boss, that's offense now. Who's leaving on defense that you might consider that you can do without?
That I could do without. That is a great question, Ronbo. Turn around. No guns and knives. A great question. Well, D Ford, please get rid of him. Ford. I mean, what the heck, man?
You know, everybody wants his job, though, fam. You know, if I could be getting paid the kind of money D4 does, Coach, my back. You know what? I'm about to lay down a minute. All right, D, just go home. D, damn.
Yeah, D4, Ronbo. Like, I can't think of nobody else that I would cut faster than the damn speed of light than D4. I don't want him stealing another penny.
Well,
sorry, Mama Ford, but he stole enough money from us, man.
Yeah,
and he ain't done nothing. No return on investment.
That's what I'm saying. No need to apologize because D's got plenty of money. It's hard to spend as much money as D's been paid by the 49ers. So I'm sure he's fine.
Right.
But yeah. So we're going to find out about that. D Ford. You know, you're right. There's not a lot of guys on defense that you can actually spotlight as a definite get rid of him guy right now, is there? You look at our linebackers,
right.
I don't want to get rid of any of them. Defensive line.
No, our linebackers are safe.
Yeah.
Our linebackers are totally safe.
Well, how many are you going to keep, though? Because there's 4 or 5, there's about 6 or 7 guys trying to make that squad or that room. Defensive line, boy.
Yeah, we're keeping linebackers. We're keeping our depth line just because of, we don't want to say bad things that can come upon us. But the only people I see, 3 people that I don't see 4 people. Jermichael Hayes won't have a spot. Wilson won't have a spot. Dwelly won't have a spot. And Ford won't have a spot. That's 4 right there. They got to go. They got to go. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. They got to. Because think about this. With the new running back we brought in, Price, how we Wilson? We can't. That's a rookie. Trey Sherman last year was a second-round pick. We're not about to cut a second-round pick, Ronbo.
No, he's a third-round pick. But
We're not about to cut a second-round
Yeah, I agree.
Was he a third round or second round?
He's third round. It's
Right.
Trey Sherman, right? Yeah.
So
Yeah, third round twice for the
so he's
49ers,
not going
back to
nowhere.
back. Yeah.
Right. So Anthony Lynn is going to implement what I've said to everybody. Ron will be top 3 rushing. Period. It's 11-on-11 football from here on out. There's no more, we can load the box up, we can blitz. Try it and pay. Try it and you will pay. You will try it and you will pay. You will pay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting
Easy
to
money.
see.
There you go, young man.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see
Yep.
how defenses, because you're not going to know how to go after the 49ers in the opening weeks anyway.
You're not, because and then here's the advantage. That Lance will have over Jim when he's playing with his back. You got to remember, Greasy. Who's we got? Greasy came from that system under Shanahan's father. Do you know what his strength was? I don't know if you remember. You know what his strength as a quarterback was?
No. Because
Play action.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Play action, Ronbo. Play action, Ronbo. So now pounding. It puts you in the mood of that 90s Broncos team and that old school 80s 49ers team. How Bill Walsh used to win the game off with the run. Now we've been killing you. Please load that box up and send a free defender, a linebacker, or a safety coming off on Kittle's side, and Lance just get past you and drop that ball off to Kittle. Yeah. That's easy money, Ronbo.
Yeah.
That's easy money. You young ladies have a great evening.
Look at your boss. You doing PR and everything else. Boss, we're gonna run out of time though. I'll let you get busy again. Always appreciate you getting in here, especially when you're at work. That's Shabazz. Thanks, fam. Love it.
Man, I'm dedicated, Ronbo, to the base. I'm dedicated to you. I'm dedicated to the Empire. I'm a realist. Shout out to the Maddens, Ready Justice. I'm not mad. They did a great job. I am kind of upset that Debo's at 89. Debo's the only one that got shafted, but everybody else got a great rating. Eric Armstead got a great rating. Yeah. Robbie Gold, top 10. Fred Warner, top 10. We have more top 10 than anybody. Fred Warner's the top 10. Number 1 linebacker. Sorry. Number 1 linebacker, Fred Warner is.
Yep.
Williams, number 1 lineman, 2.
Yeah.
Robbie Gold, top 10 kicker, 3.
Yeah.
George Kittle, 4.
Yeah.
So we broke through on a lot of positions. So, I mean, we can't be mad at the ratings of justice this time around.
In fact,
but this year, George Kittle will make his 99.
You know?
These young ladies.
Sure.
What you guys doing this evening?
I wish Shabazz was on the camp right now. It'd be so much fun. Shabazz, you gotta zoom in now. I mean, we want to see you do this, man. It sounds like just a whole program in itself. Shabazz, we're gonna go though. I'll see you Sunday.
I don't really know his best thing.
All right, I will see you Sunday, Ronbo. I'm here. I'm like I said, doing my job.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Nine of Faithful, the Nine of Empire in Memphis. My people's down there. Shout out to my boy Leon and SoCal. I don't know if he's listening. You production, and I'll get back in Sunday for Sugar Deal. And always, bang, bang, not a gang.
Shabazz, can't wait. See you Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Night. And that by nature, fighting for my life. I'll be beating up on you shallow-minded, no-knowledge attackers right and left. Hey, you guys are fighting to survive, not me. Neither by nature. They think because they throw a couple of hate lines, they beat me. Are you serious? Beat them up all day. Hey. Oh, Spindivers. And stop D Ford from doing press conferences also. D's like a celebrity, right? That doesn't do any football, but everything else. Hey, Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven, man, I was sitting there looking at, we got a good team this year, right? So I'm trying some of the names that you're going to see, you either agree or not agree with, but somebody's got to go. We can't keep everybody, right? So, who do you think suspect? Who's going to have a lot of trouble trying to make this team? Steven? He's got a little roam there. Steve!
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh, now
hear
I
me?
can, yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. Now I
Do you
can.
see the picture?
What?
Do you see the picture?
Oh, no.
Hold on.
Is there... That's not showing up. Oh, I see what you're doing. Are you trying to put that photo up?
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. But no, I mean, like, Jeff Wilson Jr. I agree with.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There he is. He's got the... What number is that on him? Is that...
85.
85. All right. It looks like he's gonna be. He's gonna be. He's gonna be a charmer. Oh yeah, a handsome guy.
That's my baby boy, man. I can't be any more proud.
And yeah, I don't know how you could be. That's awesome. Oh man. Well, that's gonna be fun for you for the whole summer. I mean, a newbie running around the house. Well, he can't run around the house. This is the good part about it now. He can't run around the house and pull things on the floor and turn speakers up and things like that. It's just yours when you want. Put him down, pick him back up. Your mind. Where we going? We're going over here. We're going over here. We're going over there. Bonding time.
Man, I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait, man. Have him in his little rocket chair while we watch the game.
It's gonna be fun. But Steven,
It is.
but looking at the guys that are not gonna be having fun on this team, can you imagine being cut and saying things? Oh man, now I got to what? What am I gonna play for now? Seattle?
I mean,
Because most of our guys that are any good, Pete Carroll's sitting there waiting.
oh,
Like he
he's
doesn't-
chomping at the bit. He's waiting for us to drop one. And the person we're going to drop is Jeff Wilson Jr. That's one. And if we're
Yeah.
looking at our wide receiver group, I think it's going to be Travis Benjamin, which kind of sucks because, I mean, he was decent at special teams, but Travis Benjamin's got to go too. Trent Sherfield, if he's still there, he probably might get cut as well. We're spinning out the herd.
You just realize something, Stephen. You're absolutely right. They're going to take one of the running backs. Seattle's deaf. You know what? If we had to make a bet right now of who's going to end up in Seattle in a few weeks, it's one of our running backs. Definitely if Jeff Wilson doesn't make the cut, he is definitely on his. That's a Pete Carroll style running back anyway.
Yep. Yes, sir. And then I
don't
kept thinking about it. I was like, I don't
Want
think it's
him
gonna be Jermichael
over
Hasty.
there.
I don't want any of our players over there.
Well,
I
yet to
thought-
be exact,
I
but
thought it was my boy. But again, Jermichael Hasty, even before he got injured, even with his 2 fumbles, you got to think about it in like a business standpoint. Jeff Wilson Jr. kind of doesn't do better, and that's a controversial opinion in my part. But I mean, that's just coming from like watching the game. Like, how many times do we see Jermichael Hasty, and how many times do we see, JW Jr.
But you know what though? I want to see what Wilson looks like this year because he was coming off an injury last year and didn't really get much preseason work in. So he's going to be a little tough to he's going to be competitive. Jermichael Hasty, I feel sorry for Jermichael because he can't really take an NFL shot. And I worry about Elijah Mitchell. From what I just heard here a few minutes ago, Elijah's put on some size, so maybe he'll be able to endure a little better. We'll find out. Our running backs, Stephen, no matter how many running backs we have, there's not going to be enough for 17 weeks of football.
No, we go through running backs. Like I said before, and I'll say it again. We go through running backs like bullets in a chamber.
We can only hope that they stay unemployed so we can call them back later.
Yeah.
Stay in shape because I may call you anytime. All right.
Well, that's why I was hoping that the 49ers looked at that power back from Florida State, Damian Pierce. That dude is a monster. I mean, really, he's a monster. He's like no other. I mean, this dude runs through people like Marshawn Lynch. This is college, right?
Mm-hmm.
He ran
What
through people
did you say his name was?
Damian Pierce.
Is that the guy that what's it, our guy in the UK is always calling and talking about, because I remember I went and checked this guy out, and you're right. He was running down through the field. Jack. I remember Jack had some guy he was really crazy about. I think was he a running back or wide receiver? Anyway, the guy was a wrecking machine.
Oh, yeah.
It might be the guy you're talking about too.
I think so, because if it is who I'm thinking about, I mean, this dude could squat, I think, what was it? Almost half a ton?
He's a running back? Okay, he's one of those guys with those legs that if you don't hit him around the ankles, he's going to punish you. Yeah, all right.
And punish this fool does. This dude is nasty. That's why I was like, if the 49ers pick him, I think we'll be set in our running back room because he'll be durable. But unfortunately, they skipped on him. And then he got skipped in the draft completely and went undrafted. And I think right now he's with I think he's with either the Panthers, or the Jaguars. I can't remember. He went to one of those two teams, one of the two cats.
The guy Jack is talking about is on one of the. I think you guys talk about the same guy.
I think so.
Yeah,
This is a full nasty. Ooh, Ronbo, I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I don't. Did you see Tyrion Davis-Price film? I see where he's got potential, but I'm not sure exactly what the 49ers are looking at. He's not great out of the backfield. I thought Kyle made that a prerequisite. Maybe not. But he's that guy, 3rd and 2. Yeah, give him the ball. We'll see.
We'll see. Man, I just can't wait, man. This is going to be an interesting season. You know, Trey Lance starting, Jimmy G possibly gone. Who knows? Who knows who will pick him up?
I know.
I hate to see him go, but hey, business is business, and he's getting a better opportunity somewhere else.
Yeah, he needs a place that he can go with a fresh start, and fans aren't booing every last missed throw, and and he's probably going to feel refreshed. I don't think he'd be motivated to stay with us anyway. That's why another reason why he's got to go. His heart's not in San Francisco now. I don't think. I can't imagine it would be. I mean, if George Kittle and the guys got on the phone, hey, Jimmy, man, come on, man. Be a professional, will you? Come on, let's go get the Super Bowl. I mean, that might get to him if they all did that. But otherwise, Jimmy doesn't want to be there.
No, he doesn't. And that's the sad part, too, because Debo was on that same boat with him. I don't know if it still is or isn't, but it came down to the fan base. We pretty much turned our backs towards Jimmy and Debo at the end of the season of this year. And come summertime, we're just like, hey, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure Debo is still feeling some type of way. I mean, don't get me wrong, he may look like he's smiling in a 49er red and gold uniform, but guaranteed, he's just like, man, I'm just here to try and collect the check. If they don't pay me, I don't give a fuck what happens somehow.
And Steven, it gets worse too. Remember that the other day when he was all excited, him and the trainer taking pictures and posting up on Instagram. I said, okay, somebody wants to contact. Okay, good. We even did a program, right? And now somebody wrote Debo's contract is not imminent. Oh, Steven, we're going to find out. You know what? That's going to be the topic Sunday. If Debo doesn't get paid between now and Sunday, I think there's going to be a problem. But anyway, we got to go get you back to Rome and look for you Sunday, okay?
All right, Ronbo. You have a great night, all right? Good talking to you. Thank you for the
Always
platform.
good talking to you.
And as always, who's got it better than us?
Nobody! Night, Steven.
You have a great weekend, Ronbo. I'll see you
You
Sunday.
too, fam. Looking forward. Oh, God. Split difference. You got to stop the slander. Jeff is a bad man. Split. I'm a huge Jeffrey Wilson Jr. fan. I'm just looking at what the 49ers are doing and making that competition. But Jeffrey could, who knows? He might beat them all out. I wouldn't bet against him.
He's not going to do that.
Look, Emilio would definitely bet
I like
against
the
him.
guy, but no, he's not going to do that.
So he's on your list of guys that are going to have to say goodnight and turn in the uniform and give up that
as much
locker
as
key.
it'd be nice to keep it, especially that one great play he did when he came back to Arizona in the end. But other than that, he hasn't done anything spectacular since then.
Well, Elijah made him sit down last year. He couldn't.
That's exactly the point. So I don't think he's going to be able to beat anybody. If he can beat Trey Sermon out, he's not going to be able to beat nobody else.
Well, he did beat Trey Sermon out, actually. You know, Sermon was ranked. You know, Hasty was ahead of Sermon on the depth chart.
Yeah, but Trey Sermon still got more playing time than him.
Did he?
Yeah.
Sermon played what, 2 times? You know, Trey is going to get every chance, though, because you're right. A 3rd-round pick. If I picked him, I'm going to be calling him up every day. You working out? Yeah. Don't overeat. Listen, when you come in tomorrow, don't make me look bad now. You ready to go? I'll be all over him. You know? I drafted you.
I would like Wilson to stay, but I just don't see him beating anybody out. I don't. If the only person he does beat out would be Jermichael, and then that's the only way he stays on. Because on that, I don't see him beating nobody else out on the team.
Yeah, because Tyrion's
there's a lot of players I would want to keep, but then you just look at them, our roster is just too deep, and we've gotten too many new players, and it's just you're gonna have to do a whole lot to beat certain players out.
Yeah, and if for no other reason but the draft status, I mean, where they got drafted, they have to commit a certain amount of effort into those high draft picks. And you're right, Sermon and Davis Price, I think they're kind of safe. And Elijah Mitchell, of course.
Now,
who's going to be that fourth guy?
That's the top 3 right there.
Yeah.
Who's the fourth one? That's going to be the top. It's either going to be Michael Hasty, it's going to be Jeff Wilson. So it'll be one of those tops. There's going to be a top, and he's going to be the fourth guy.
You know what, though, from what we're saying right now, Emilio, maybe Wilson does make the team. Do you after you go past Davis Price and Sermon and Elijah Mitchell, of course, that's 3. Whoever's left between, he might make it the fourth guy.
He might make it, but it's just between him and Jermichael Hasty. I know we have another. Don't we have another running back after that?
There's a good one from what everybody's talking about. I forget his name. I've heard of his name in conversation a few times. Don't let him come out there and do an Elijah Mitchell.
Exactly. So that 4th spot is impossible, basically. So somebody's going to have to get that 4th spot. If it's not Wilson, somebody else is going to get it. It's one of those situations.
All right. Who else are you looking at? As
I don't know. It's just mostly a line trying to see what it's doing, but I'm not about the whole thing about the line. I just want to wait out with the line. Who makes a big question? Because it's still yet to be seen who's going to really protect Trey. On defense, I don't know. Defense is the same thing, stacked up. It's just a defensive stacked up. It's to the point where it's just see who makes it and who doesn't. I'm not like.
And Emilio, the bad thing is
so stacked.
They've got a certain amount of time. They could be a better football player, but they've only got a certain amount of time to demonstrate that. And if you can't do it, and you go to Seattle or someplace else and you look great, well, why didn't you do it when we was trying to get you to do it here? I get the feeling that that's what happens to us almost every year. And it happens in every camp, I guess.
It's just, like I said, it's just mostly what this is right now. Just that I just forgot his name. The one we just signed a defensive end or a defensive lineman. All he's doing is just like, it is there, but at the same time, you're basically for job interviews. Maybe if you don't get a job with the Niners, you'll get it with somebody else.
Seattle.
So that's what
Jeffrey Wilson Jr. will be over Seattle
that
same afternoon. I promise you. I mean, Pete Carroll will
wherever
love
he
him.
goes, hey, good luck to him.
No, don't go to Seattle. Damn it. I don't want to benefit them with nothing.
Put it like this. Let's say you're on the Niners, right? You get cut. You're going to want to go wherever you go to get paid. It doesn't matter if you go to the rivalry or where you go. You're worried about getting paid. I can't get mad at those guys. They try to make money. They got families too. So if you go to Seattle, go to Seattle. Just when we play you, hopefully we just beat you guys.
Look what DJ Reed did. And the 49ers they weren't seriously trying to get rid of DJ Reed. They put him on over the weekend. The man's got a torn chest muscle.
Throwing the ball over there.
I mean, the thing is, DJ Reed had a torn chest muscle, and everybody knew he'd be back Monday. We just had need him off for now. And Seattle said, "Oh hell yeah, we'll take him." You mother, what the Pete? What are you doing? He can't even play.
Never been in interception. Hey, Jimmy made him look good. Not Seattle. That's Jimmy's fault.
Listen, here's the thing.
You threw that pick over there. So.
DJ Reed, I watched him for weeks. More than Jimmy. DJ Reed was a good football player. I didn't even know how good he was. You know how we could use him in the slot right now? Man, I think he would have competed and might have won it out. That's why we picked him up in the first place. Hey. Yeah, it's just water to the bridge now.
Like I say, it happens. It just happens. No matter sometimes when players come to us, they were doing crap on the other team. They came to us and did a lot better. So sometimes that happens. So
in fact,
it's not always you're going to sign on one team.
Torn ACL, he came over from Seattle and took up DJ Reed's spot, and he was good. Better than anybody expected.
Exactly.
Until he tore the ACL. And,
like I said, it's exactly. So it's that, especially like with, what's the name? Who was that one guy we got rid of, went to the Raiders and did horrible? I forgot his name.
To the Raiders?
Thomason? Yeah, he was with us and he went over there. We just got, what was his name, Thomason? Or?
Oh, you're talking about our first round pick.
Yeah. He did bad with us and we did worse with them. So, stuff like that happens.
You're talking about Solomon T. I keep forgetting he went to the Raiders on purpose.
I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody
the one
forgot
guy
about
we got from the Raiders, what was it? I forgot the one. Was it Arden Key or somebody that came from the Raiders?
Arden came over from the Raiders.
With us?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, see, exactly. And he did better with us. So that's
sometimes the way it works.
It happens.
Well, let me go. Got to go because it's getting late. I'm gonna pull off here in a minute. But listen, I'll be looking for you Sunday on your day off.
All right, for sure.
All right,
the other game, Debo did bad. That Rams game, Debo dropped a lot of balls that game too. So there's one in one game, Debo dropped a lot of balls and cost us a couple first downs. But the whole Madden rating, I know why it happened. I was like, it's because he dropped a lot of balls.
Don't do that. Debo might be he'll be looking for you. All right. Anyway,
he can, and I'm gonna tell him the same thing, buddy. You want to get a 99? Stop dropping the ball.
I'll see you Sunday, fam.
All right.
Oh God.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Yeah, I like me and Casey. I don't remember a lot of drops, but I guess everybody says it. It must be true, but I didn't. Splendiferous, you guys got to realize one thing. When all our running backs go down, what time is it? Jeffrey Wilson time. Kyle keeps him on reserve, and he comes in fresh. It's Splendiferous, as far as I'm concerned, you and me, we ain't got no argument going on. But I love to watch Jeffrey Wilson turn that corner. That locomotion of his, I love to watch him run that ball. Hey, Bryant.
Hey, Ronbo, how are you tonight?
Bryant, as we creep in, this time next week, we'll have a lot of stuff to go over as far as the 49ers' first week of camp. All the lies and bravado and I told you, I can't wait. It's such a fun time. Hey, Brian, and it means nothing. We get all excited because we love this game and we love this team so much, but it's only audition time. There's no real reason to get too pumped up, but we will. I love it. But Brian, what are you thinking? You got some guys that you'd like to say goodbye to on this roster currently?
Quarterback first round, and then the next year.
Look, you're fading, Brian. I can only hear every other word. I'm not sure why that is. Try again.
Can you hear me better now?
It's perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So here's my question. If you draft a quarterback first round, and then the next year the quarterback first round, what's that saying?
That's saying you're not happy with the year before, one of those years, the first one most likely.
So when you draft a running back round 3 and then you do it again, I'm thinking maybe that might be our guy that's going to be on the bubble this year. I know he's a fan favorite right now, but I don't think Trey Sermon's
Look at Brad. Look at Brad with the logic. Ipso facto.
I know a lot of people are saying, well, he's gonna fit Trey Sermon's scheme, but he didn't fit them last year. And then he scrubbed his Instagram.
And also this thing about the quarterback matters, what the running back does. No, it doesn't. Running backs they're two different separate jobs. He's got to do his thing. Or I'm not. If he gives you the ball, then you need to do something. Elijah Mitchell does. Frank Gore used to. Matty B used to. Look at the guy that's over in Miami now. He used to and set records. So you're right. He's got to do better.
I think Wilson's really, I think Wilson's really valuable. I don't think he'll be leaving if push came to shove. Hasty, I think Hasty might be out, and I think Sermon might be on the bubble. And Sermon, more than likely, because they drafted in the third round, he's probably going to make the team this year, but we're going to see where he falls on the depth chart.
Who's that? Davis Price? Yeah, Davis Price, automatically, he's on the team this year because he hasn't had an opportunity to. Who?
Sermon. Sermon's going to be on the bubble this year. If he makes the squad, he will make the squad this season because he got drafted last year third. But when he falls on the depth chart, that's going to be where we're going to want to look. Is he going to be the fourth running back or the fifth running back? Because I think we keep 5 running backs.
And which would be smart. Because, Brian, you and I both know, in week 14, 15, somewhere between 13 and 16, we're going to run out of running backs. So don't get rid of all those guys. You can hide a couple on the practice squad. I'd put Jeffrey Wilson on the practice squad. I know Pete would say, you put it, hey, okay, I've been waiting for that. What? Yeah, call him up right now. San Francisco has just lost Jeffrey Wilson Jr. to Seattle Seahawks as anticipated by most 49er fans. Only the front office didn't know. God.
Now, as far as the offensive line, I was listening earlier, and I think, Brunskill, unless he's really injured, I think he's a utility knife. He can go just about any position on the O-line. I think that's really valuable too.
Yeah.
And then, everybody knows he owes, Aaron Donald. So that's another good reason to keep Brunskill. But
that's a matchup weirdity. What is it with Aaron Donald and Daniel Brunskill? And they had some schemes where Daniel and the right tackle or the center position, they'd have beautiful moves that just cut off the area. But there were times when Brunskill was on his own, and he did well.
Yeah, he just gets in his head or something. I don't know. And then my last thing before I get off the phone with you is, we know Debo deserves to get paid, and as fans, we want to pay him as much as, the sky's the limit, right? We'll just pay him, right? Yeah. But if you're the 49ers, right, do you pay somebody early, and then when you have an opportunity to franchise tag them 2 years later, do you do that? 2 years in a row? I mean, do you really pay Debo right now? We got Ayuk coming up, and we got other players coming up. We got Bosa coming up. We still have Jimmy on the roster. So is paying Debo that big of a deal right now?
Brian, what do you do with him though? You got to deal with him psychologically. I mean, he's a grown ass man, I know, but I mean, what do I got to call him up because it's my job. And I can see Kyle now, him and John. Listen, you know what? We don't have to pay a Debo right now. And it actually would benefit us if we just hold off a minute. He may get her, And then, you're going to call him? I thought you might do that. Brian, between you and I, we're sitting there having that conversation. Are you going to call him or do I have to call him?
Well, you remember that dinner they had a couple months ago? And Debo got mad and everything after that.
Gets mad.
So maybe they told him then. Hey, come this year, play, and then next year we'll hook you up with a contract because he has been hurt, and I know he has come back he broke his foot. He got hurt in 2019. I like Debo. I think he's a great player. I think, we should pay him as much as we can pay him. But as a 49er organization, the owners, from their aspect, do you really have to pay him right now? You don't. It's but
I need to hire somebody who's good with consoling people, actually being able to manipulate their minds so they don't go crazy on me. I honestly, if I had to call Debo up and he's like, man, listen, Debo, I know you love the game. You and I both know that the ceiling, there is none for you. All you've got to do, and listen, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of people. This is just not my own personal feeling, but listen, you come in and you show us something this year, and I showed you enough last year. There you go. See, now I don't know what to do. So I don't know how you deal with that.
I agree. I think he should get paid, but I'm just looking at it.
I agree with you too. I actually do.
From the organization, he might even make more money by being franchised 2 times in a row. I'm just like, I mean, like, if you think about it, you could actually really, make out going the right way, but, and because if he signs right now, everybody after he gets signed is going to make more money than him. So then what, we're going to have to re-sign him like 2 years later and give him a bigger bag?
Right. You're absolutely right, because the league standard now is high. If Debo gets franchise tagged, he'd be delighted. And because he wants 2 paydays anyway. So the 49ers would only franchise tag him twice max. And then he could go get his other big payday that he's been talking about that he'd like to do. He only wanted a short-term contract, it was rumored, anyway. So he could have another big payday. Build on this payday, build a resume, and then 2-3 years down the line, go with another team and get paid again. Debo's all about the money, Bryant. Well, I mean, I understand most of them are, but I mean, he's about the money.
Yeah. And then the other thing, the last thing is I don't think we can cut Ford. I think cutting D Ford is just going to cost way too much money. If he's hurt or if he's unable to play, we just got to eat his contract, because I think we got to eat his contract for 2 more years. Yeah, I think we got to give him like $6 million for the next 2 years.
Maybe that's why we never hear anything about him. Kyle already said I'd be real surprised if D Ford was on this roster when the regular season starts, though.
It'd be nice to let him go, because he's just taking up a roster spot. If you can't play, then you're no valuable.
Especially defensive line. That's really a problem.
I mean, how many? We got 15 defensive linemen, 12
10
defensive
solid
linemen?
ones that we know of. There's probably more. I don't know.
The season's going to be good. So, hey, everybody, once again, I think Debo should get paid. Pay the man as much as he wants. Pay him to be happy. I like him being a wide back, because I think he does have drops. And if you go back and you watch some of the season, he does have drops. It's easy passes, it looks like. It hits his hands and it drops. And that's the one thing that might be, you might need to focus on. But other than that, Debo's the man. And if we can pay him, let's pay him. But, go Niners. Ronbo, thanks again.
Great observation, Brian. And that draft pick player this year in the round 3, and the next year in round 3. What does that say? That was sharp. Anyway, Brian, give my best to Tony and Lily. I'll talk to you Sunday.
I'll do that. I'll talk to you Sunday. Have a good night. Right. Go Niners.
There goes Brian. Okay, you know what? I'm going with Brian on that. Why am I drafting running back in the same round 2 years back to back? I'm not happy with what happened last year, am I? I could use that. We didn't have a lot of picks. We could have used that 3rd-round pick for something else this year. Anderson out of Texas.
What's up, Ronbo?
Yeah, Anderson, man, just sit back here, because we know that the team's getting ready to reconvene. And so, you look at some of the guys that are going to have a little trouble making the team this year, and we're starting to target those guys right now. Anderson, you got somebody is going to have a hell of a hard time trying to be a 49er this year.
I think it might be out of Wilson and Hasty, because, one thing I know Kyle like is running backs who catch good out the backfield, and both of them catch good out the backfield, so it's going to be probably out of them. But I think, and Wilson, you never know. Wilson may, who knows? He may come in and start, and you never know.
I know,
he have
right?
a good year. Remember that?
Because we want to win, Anderson. This ain't no popularity contest.
Him and Mostert was going back and forth running the ball against the Patriots, tearing ass up.
Tell you.
And then on the offensive line, can't really say. I think he's gonna get Trent Williams, Moore. I like Jake Brunner.
Anderson, you said you like Jake Brindle.
That's not just so Mike McGlinchey that way so good. I think he can come in and have a good on his center. I think he can, because
I can't wait to see him.
From what I done seen on the little video a minute ago, it looks like he can hold his own right now. But let's see when the pads come on.
That's what separates the men from the boys. Yep. Who could think that? Bam!
Right.
Suddenly. You all right? Hey, can you hear me, dog?
And I think Dante Johnson might be out of there. But some way he always find his way back
He'll be
on
back.
the team.
Even if he leaves,
Somehow.
he'll be back.
Yeah, somehow. He may just have him go to the practice squad. Who knows? And what you want to know about? Yeah, what you want to know about the Dallas Cowboys with their punk ass?
Yeah, give me some intel. What's going on in Dallas? Because we don't hear a lot about it, but that little mistake that Dak made in the fourth quarter by not, I'm talking, you learned that in Pop Warner. You don't want to get the ball to the official first. You just go ahead and snap the ball. People get on my dude Jimmy for every little thing. Now, I wonder how Cowboys fans feel about Dak in that move and losing to the 49ers and basically getting outplayed anyway. What are they talking about?
Oh, it's really pretty much the same. Oh, you see what we got? You see us this year? You see, watch. When he start, you see us. Watch, y'all gonna see us. Watch. That was all good. We ain't worried about what Dak did. It's all good. We ain't worried about that. Y'all like y'all did something. Y'all lost. Y'all still lost. Y'all sorry too. Where y'all was? Y'all was on the couch with us. Shut up. I'm like, yeah, but
that's all I can say.
But I'm like, yeah, but who put y'all out though? Who put y'all out?
And who was crying?
Y'all was talking all the shit. Yeah, talking all the shit.
Yep.
Oh man. Before the season, 3 seasons ago.
See, that's why when you see Trent Williams walking off the field and all them Cowboys fans hustling down to the edge of the fence just so they can flip him off, that's pain. There's suffering.
The Eagles and the Commanders gonna run through their ass this year. I think the Giants may surprise them when they go to New York, because see Dallas, they all cocky right now.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be. They cocky.
I don't know why.
It's all good. It's like y'all lost Amari Cooper
in the first round.
That was the
second
stupid.
round. They got a pat. How they?
Cause him and who was that? Him and Lamb, that was a good little combination.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good little receiving package right there.
That's why Amari got excused. So,
and then this is nothing. I think on the cool. I think they're gonna keep. I think D Ford may surprise a lot of people.
You think he's gonna play?
Still playing.
You think he's gonna play?
I think he's gonna play.
I wish he would.
I think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play. Because how much money you done made? You done sat on your ass for 10 years. You done sat on your ass for 10 years. Come on, man. I think
you owe us.
You got all the rest you need for your body to heal up and be 100. So,
but the first hit he gets. I think that back, I don't know what's wrong with this back exactly, because they don't ever tell you anything more about it than what they do, but it seems like he can't take contact. And in his position, you got to have some bend.
That's a money gimmick.
He's doing well with it then.
There you go. Like Reuben Foster, dumbass, I think that's a money gimmick.
You know what? They ain't even crazy about football. They like getting there and getting paid. But as far as going out there busting ass and working hard, they ain't about that. I bet you might be right. You might be right.
And then as far as how Anthony Lynch, how I think he's gonna come in, like what I think I said it before on here with the running game. He want to develop that pound that ball up that middle.
Yep.
Fuck the linebackers up.
Because we're gonna get away from his own stretch a little bit. From what I understand.
Yeah, mess them linebackers up, then come back with a stretch play or something, or hell, just throw the ball downfield.
Or just have that option. That way you have all the options open. Because if I have to worry about the 49ers playing physical and coming down the middle, I can't prepare for that zone stretch. And Kyle knew that. It's just like, for some reason, we stopped running play action last year, and everybody blames Jimmy.
Yeah.
But Jimmy's best days were in play action.
Play action, yeah.
But defenses started keying in on certain things, I guess. We'll see.
And then and I like to keep Ross really because it's red zone. He's always been the red zone threat because every time he got the ball, he caught the ball in his zone. He got the touchdown. So I think he'd be all right. But yeah, I'm still kind of agged at this too. Also, now if we remember, I don't care what nobody say. We won that Super Bowl. Now I don't know if you remember. Now in that Saints game, when Adam Thielen pushed off, extended his hand, it was a touchdown. But when George Kittle did it, it was a flag. No, bitch, we beat them people.
And you know what? That game was there was so much cheating going on. Their offensive, our defense was rough, and their offensive line was mediocre at best, and they were stopping us all day. Come on, man. You know, I know. Anderson, we got to go because I'm getting really stressed. I
hope we knock that motherfucker Patrick Mahomes motherfucking block off this year.
I do too. All right, fam.
And Rusty Wilson.
I'll look for you Sunday. All right.
All right, now.
All right, fam. Good night.
All right.
Well, it's a big show. Come on in, Show.
Ronbo, what's up?
Show, man, the weekend's up. And, there's nothing really that can disturb a man on Fridays, even people on Twitter that have no idea what the definition of football is. But you and I both know that the day of judgment is coming. So I've already told them in advance, I will be the adult in the room. If things go south for those people who've said all the things they've said, I'm not going to come at them. By the way, you people on Twitter that are always giving me grief, and we're fighting back and forth, I'm going to grow up sooner than that. I'm going to stop talking to you people about that same subject. You don't know what you're talking about. So thanks for calling in and giving me that opportunity to say that to those people.
And I'm glad you set me up for this because I'm going to start off with the quarterback's room. Right now, there are no suitors to trade Jimmy Garoppolo to. Mm-hmm. The Texans, they're completely happy with Davis Mills.
True.
He is their future.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns are completely content with Jacoby Brissett starting as quarterback, and they also still have Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens to Deshaun Watson, which I think he'll be suspended for 4 to 6 games, and then he'll be back in the fold.
Lucky.
Who else is there?
You can make up any team you want. Everybody else does. Any team you want. Just mention. Throw any arbitrary name out there of a team. People will actually, that's possible. The Dallas Cowboys.
That's all fantasy. It's not reality. No. Anyways, there's no suitor right now for him unless somebody gets hurt, and even if they get hurt, they're not going to take on a $27 million quarterback for a year.
But people would rather believe he's so bad that nobody's interested. How stupid would I look as a GM? I'm going to pick up a kid that costs $26 million, and he doesn't know anything about my offense. It's going to take him 6 weeks to even get up to speed. Why would I do that? Oh.
And not only that, you have to ask yourself, as the 49ers GM, are you really comfortable with Nate Sudfeld being Trey Lance's backup?
I'm going to ask you, are you comfortable with Nate Sudfeld being the backup?
No, because he's going to be my first cut right now.
God.
And I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not sorry. But Jimmy Garoppolo is going to stick around for 1 more year, and no, he's not going to be a backup. Stop smoking that low-grade dope, whatever you're smoking. That's all BS. He's not going to take a pay cut just to be a backup. He's going to be a starter because Kyle wins with him, and that's what a good teammate does, is take a pay cut for them to be able to allocate that money elsewhere where they need to fill holes. And right now, the biggest hole is the right guard position, which I told you that Jason Poe is going to win. And so our quarterback room Our quarterback room is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy. If we keep 3, Brock Purdy will go on the practice squad though. The running backs, I got to say goodbye to Jeff Wilson Jr. and Jermichael Hasty. They're taking up number 1. They're taking up 2 roster spots and taking up too much money, and they can't stay healthy for 1 quarter. during game time play. There's a undrafted free agent out there by the name of Jordan Mason from
that's the running back,
Georgia
right?
Tech.
Yeah, I've heard about him.
Yeah,
and he's good, right?
Is really good, and is a healthier Jeff Wilson faster Jr. As far as offensive line goes, the center position I'm really concerned about. I really don't think Jake Brindle's job is safe because we have Donovan West back there who has really good experience at center. Strictly playing center from Arizona State University.
These names, I keep forgetting.
And also we're bringing in Billy Price, who was a cap casualty from the Bengals. They couldn't afford to pay him, who was also a really good center from Ohio State.
So
he was drafted out of Ohio State.
When did that happen? Billy Price?
I don't know. I read something about it earlier this week. I'm not sure when they're bringing him in for a workout. But if he is here, watch out for him too. And as far as the right guard, I said Jason Poe. Obviously, I'm not a fan of Daniel Brunskill. Him and Aaron Darnold are an anomaly. That's a freak thing that happens. It's just weird.
How about Jalen?
It's as weird as people thinking that Trey Lance is going to be coming out right away looking like Josh Allen.
Yeah,
and Josh Allen's, like Mike Silver said, is an anomaly that happens every so often. And yeah, I don't know why people are a fan of Brunskill. Like, I don't get it. Just because he beats Aaron Donald, that's just, and he falls off the rest of the season. Where is he at the rest of the season?
That's true, and we need to have more than just the Rams game. Yeah. Well, you know what? Brunskill's got tendonitis too. This year is not the year you want to come in with little nagging injuries. You need to really show something now, or else 49ers.
There's tape out there of Jason. I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's tape out there of Jason Poe manhandling Alabama's defensive line. It is insane. You got to go watch. I'll send you a clip of it. So he's pretty athletic to be competing for that right guard spot.
Oh, he is anyway.
Wide receivers. I'm a little.
What? Oh.
Wide receiver, I'm a little skeptical of that room too. I don't know what's going to happen to Debo. God forbid, should we trade him? Look for us to bring in somebody like Julio or T.Y. Hilton to fill that, to put a band-aid on that spot right there. Because we keep 6 wide receivers, and should we trade Debo for some reason? Because he still wants to be traded, Ronbo. He hasn't rescinded that exactly. He doesn't want to be here, so because let him go. I mean, just don't keep. And when was the last time we paid $20 million to a receiver? We didn't even pay Jerry Rice that much money. We didn't pay Michael Crabtree that much money. We didn't pay Torrey Smith. We didn't pay.
I tell you something else.
Golden that much money.
He's going to get traded anyway because I tell you what, if they call Debo and say, "Listen, Debo, we've made a decision. We want you to come to terms with this. Now, listen, and as soon as he says that, no, you know what? You're going to trade me. I know what you're going to say. Trade me, and then that's going to get. They're going to have to, and yeah, they'll have to. Oh,
or you're going to lose half your defense if you do that. You say goodbye to Fred Warner. Say goodbye to linebacker core. There's no way we can.
There may be more reasons than we know that the 49ers might not want to trade him, pay him right away. For some of the reasons that are mentioned, I never paid any attention to Debo dropping the ball. You might have saw it. I didn't notice a lot of times that happening.
2019, he had a lot of drops before Emmanuel Sanders got there. Remember that?
Yeah.
And last year, I don't remember a lot of drops either. But I still look for him to be signed, or either signed and traded, or traded before he's signed.
And
one of the few.
In the injury situation, he is a little worrisome. If I'm going to pay him big bucks, because he could come up lame any minute. There's always a leg issue. So
if there's a suitor for Debo, I would look for the Jets to re-enter that conversation with him because they really want him and solid offense.
I know, but I like Debo. All right, we'll see what happens. It's going to happen soon too.
And as far as tight ends goes,
real quick,
say goodbye to Ross Dwelly. Sorry, Grant Cohn, but he is not the shit like you think he is. We just signed Tyler Kroft, who's way better than him. And so the tight end room is going to be George Kittle, Tyler Kroft, and Charlie Warner.
There you go.
Offensive line is going to be Trent Williams on the left, Mike McGlinchey on the right, Jason Poe at center, and between Donovan West and Billy Price at center, and Jason Poe at right guard. Left guard is going to be Aaron Banks. the surprise safety cut is going to be Marcel Harris. Leon O'Neal Jr. is going to take that job from him. Our corners are pretty much all set. I'm going to say goodbye to Dante Johnson. And as far as defensive line goes, goodbye Maurice Hurst. You can't stay healthy. Goodbye D Ford. You can't stay healthy. You're out of here.
There you go. Those
are my surprise cuts right there. So.
So you got to give me a 53-man roster. I'd love to see who's not on that list. All right, we're gonna go now though.
All right.
All right. Look for you Sunday. See you on Twitter. All right, Night Phil.
For sure.
Show. That's why he's a member of TNT. Because Show does not care what anybody thinks. He can tell us exactly how he feels. Well, Austin, are you having sunflower seeds? What is that?
No, sir.
Austin,
what's happening, Ronbo?
Austin, we're sitting here, and well, you know, it's really funny because we're sitting here going through who we can do without, and Austin Anderson, just down in Texas, has his finger on the pulse of the cowboy community. I understand it. You guys are feeling real good about your chances. So, Austin, since we're on the matter of cutting people, who can you do without in Dallas? We'd all love to know that.
Well, Ronbo, our offensive line is going to be our first issue. We lost Lyle Collins to Cincinnati.
Oh, Lyle has left, huh? That's right.
Mm-hmm. He went to Cincinnati, took a big payday in Cincy.
Man.
So a lot of our training camps probably going to be predicated around our line.
Yeah.
Our D line is in flux too, so those are probably going to be our two biggest things we look for. As far as safeties and corners go, I think we're pretty much set there. I mean, we know Diggs is going to be our number one. You know, we got Kelvin Joseph back there. He's been injury prone. If he goes, it wouldn't be the worst thing. But I feel good about our team, Ronbo. I do.
Yeah, you should. You get to walk around saying, I represent America's team.
But Ronbo, the thing with me is though, I'm not one of those fans that he was talking about earlier that they're talking all this smack, because I know what happens when we start doing that. Yeah. I'm one of those humble fans. Gotta stay humble.
Oh, it's hard. You know, I mean, I must admit, it's hard to just stay completely humble. There's a lot of people can't do it, though. But the Rams fans can't do it. Raider fans can't do it. Hawks fans are one of the worst at not being cool, you know. But you know, fans who really are good, it's the Steeler fans. You'll never hear or watch a Steeler fan, and actually the Patriot fans. I can't remember the last time I ran into a Patriot fan talking trash. You know, that's interesting. Teams have to dominate.
Saints fans ain't bad either.
Who? Saints fans?
They ain't bad either.
You know what, though? They've got to be a disappointed bunch, because how many times they go to the water well and come up dry? You know, those plays at the end of the game that Minnesota took away from the Saints that year on the last second play by Diggs, that Rams play that they got cheated on. You know, the Saints. This is why when 49er fans start crying about how we don't win the big one, well, think about Drew Brees. Now, there's a guy that really should have 2 titles. I mean, just for those 2 games alone. So, you know, it's just, people don't understand how difficult it is to get to the Super Bowl #1, and then when you get there, to win it. It's a small miracle. No, what am I saying? It is a miracle. That is the toughest thing in the world. The NFL. Get all through 3 rounds of playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, have enough personnel, healthy enough to win the big one. I don't think people realize how difficult that is.
Well, Ronbo, people see Tom Brady doing it 6 times over and think, hey, when it's
Shut
not.
me up. Hey, but Austin, look at the system. Look at the organization. Belichick, no matter how anybody feels about him, the guy runs a tight, incredible ship. Now, he's fallen off since Tom left, but if anybody thinks Belichick is through, they got another thing coming. He's military-like. Austin, I don't know what kind of... I think they take guys in the back room or out to the woodshed and beat them up if they don't do things according to a certain Patriot style. You know? I mean, how did they do what they did? 6 times? I mean, God, Brady's good, but Jesus Christ, there were times when Brady wasn't the reason why they won the Super Bowl.
No, Ronbo, if you look at it, though, like, there was a couple years their defense was the reason that they won it.
They did. You know what? 9 out of 10 times, that is who wins Super Bowls. One team or the other has got to just stop the other one. Remember Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl in San Francisco? I mean, the Carolina Panthers had all the firepower in the world. The Saints defense, I mean the Panthers defense, no, I'm sorry, the Broncos defense, they were all over Cam Newton like a cheap suit. He couldn't do anything. That's what you do.
No, Ronbo, he couldn't do nothing.
And Peyton Manning was a shadow of himself that year, and he won the Super Bowl.
But Ronbo, I'm hearing all these things about Jeff Wilson Jr. What is it with him the Niner faithful doesn't like?
I mean, it's not about not liking him. It's the thing is, we've got other people in camp that might be ahead of him. You know what though, Austin, it's not over. Jeffrey Wilson could go in there and hurt everybody's feelings and beat them all out. The 49ers will be fair about that. If Jeff Wilson can take the job, it'll be his. Except for Terrion Davis Price.
Yeah, Ronbo, and there's one more question because I know you're a busy man. I've been seeing reports that Dre Greenlaw might be on the bubble.
Yeah. That was said early in the season. Well, because we got you got Alshar, who did a great job, and he may be what the 49ers maybe appreciate above what Dre does. They're both really good, but maybe they like Alshar. He's going to be less expensive. They both have expiring contracts this year. When you got one UDFA and you got another guy that got drafted, it's going to be between those two this year. Now, if Dre can hold him off, but I do think Alshar has the advantage.
But, Ronbo, I'd like to thank you for your time, man.
Hey.
As always, I look forward to seeing you Sunday. And go Cowboys.
Nobody does that. Good luck to you, Austin. Well, I'll be back here Sunday. Come on in. Join us. All right. And, hey, Brian, the law has rolled in. Brian?
With... Hey, Ronbo, you there?
Yeah, I was listening. I was wondering if you heard me. Yeah, Brian.
Okay.
We were waiting for you. We thought you was outside making some kind of an arrest.
I got kind of disturbed. Not disturbed, but I got kind of distracted for a minute. But as I was saying, with training camp just right around the corner, the law says know your role and shut your mouth. What's going on, man? We're on graveyard shift tonight, ain't we, Ronbo?
Yeah, it is late. We got to stop doing this, so we got to get in here earlier. But yeah. But Brian.
Yeah.
You
What's
know,
going on, man?
Yeah, we're looking at guys that other than Jimmy, we're looking at guys that are probably not going to be with us due to the fact that they're going to get beat in camp coming up next week and in the days ahead. We listed a few. Darkeys and even Jason Verrett may be in trouble. You got Jeffrey Wilson Jr., Jermichael Hasty. Ross Dwelly may be in trouble. Brunskill's been a popular guy to get rid of tonight, too. And Jeffrey Wilson Jr., is a guy that people are spotlighting. If I'm going to take in all the guys that have been put on that list of guys they're probably going to do without, and of course D Ford, people have been putting D Ford on that list for like 3 years. So, so yeah. Hey, but Brian, who do you think is going to have difficulty making this team?
Well, I would say first. I know recently they signed, what was it, Robert Kadichi from Seattle.
Yeah, he's been everywhere though. Nimgichi did nothing. He's been in the league for 5 or 6 years, and I forgot all about him until the 49ers signed him. But go ahead.
He's camp. He's camp bait. He just camp body. This probably
just take a look, kick the tires.
He's pretty much a bust. So this is like he's on life support right now.
That's sad.
He's on life support right now.
Dude was a beast in school. That's terrible.
I know one thing. Speaking of Ford, he needed to be off yesterday. He should have been off yesterday. The doggone D4. He ain't did nothing but stole money. Stolen
Could
money.
bring him up on charges, actually. Grand theft.
Right, exactly. Embezzlement. He ran embezzlement. 6 sacks in 5 years. Come on.
Bad thing is, he goes out there for 5 minutes. I'm ready to go. And 5 minutes later, there he is on the list, sitting down.
Yeah. Mr. D, my neck, my back, and my back forward.
And he's taking up a valuable roster spot, too. You don't want D linemen.
Right.
If you can't play, we need a rotation here, bro. Can you help it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Linebackers, I don't see nobody going from there.
Not this year.
I don't see nobody. No, not this year. Secondary, that one I don't know. I mean, the Ward guy, the guy from Kansas City, I know he's cornerback number 1.
Oh yeah. Chabert he's in. Now, people are using Dante Johnson already. And I think sometimes the 49ers keep him just for that reason, so they can cut him and bring him back later.
Ronbo, I think I'm serious, Ronbo. I think Dante got something on staff or somebody. They can't get rid of him. Every time they just, hey, Dante, what are you doing? Hey, you want to play some football 49ers?
I've been waiting on y'all to call. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like, hey, I'm good. I'm not gonna get another job. I'm good. 49ers. They'll be calling me soon.
And Brian, I don't think if somebody does call Dante from another organization, I think he tells them no. No, I don't. I'm not playing this year.
No. Yeah, because he knows he's needed here. In the back of his mind, he knows that he's needed here. He's needed in San Francisco.
And he likes it in San Francisco. He really does.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go somewhere else, and I know I got home. I pretty much got a home.
And apparently, money's not an object to him. So,
apparently, Yeah, Ronbo. I thought we was gonna jump on. I thought we was opening with our favorite subject, Jimmy G.
I'm trying to stop with G. It's becoming boring. And then people on Twitter. I'm letting y'all know I'm done with y'all today too. Every time I go to Twitter, there's some outlandish. Granted, okay, Jimmy's leaving fine. If you don't like him, that's good. I don't care now. But some of the things that are said, then it gets me going. I read some things that are just stupid, outrageous lies half the time. I say, what? I want to leave these people alone, but God damn, and then there I go. Now I'm in it, 3-day thread. Jesus, that's
right.
So, but yeah.
Ronbo, what do you think about him getting his agents getting permission? They've been given permission by San Francisco for him to seek a trade.
Somebody told me. Somebody I read on Twitter. Somebody said no. They told Jimmy that back in March. You know what? Contrary to what people
that's
believe,
what
the
I'm talking
49ers
about.
don't hate Jimmy,
Yeah.
but they realize what they've done now. They got to follow through it. They made that bet. They got to sleep in it now because you went ahead, you
Yeah,
gave
right.
up all that draft capital to get Trey Lance. Now you made that gamble.
Yeah.
You got to play your hand. So
Right.
now, no matter
Yeah.
what they think, Jimmy's got to go. So they told Jimmy, listen, we're not going to do you up, man. Listen, you can find a deal and we'll sign off on it. No problem.
Honestly, Rumble, I don't know where he's going. I mean,
There is no place
he can't
left.
go to Cleveland. He can't go to Cleveland. Didn't they just pick up Rouse? What's his name? Josh
Josh Rosen. And they already had Jacoby
They just
Brissett.
picked him up. They already got
Brian, they don't-
Brissett, and they just waiting on the verdict on. They just waiting on the verdict on Deshaun.
Exactly. They don't feel like spending no whole lot of money. So that's what I'm saying. People say, well, the Browns got him. Rumble, you still want it. Yeah. Hey, man, Browns will give the 49ers draft capital. And then they're going to pay Jimmy Garoppolo $26 million. Whatever you're smoking, send me some.
Right.
I want to know how that feels.
Send me some of it. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Send me a. Yeah. I'll take a brick. Send me a brick of that.
I'll pay you for it too, yes. God. Why would I do that? And I got to pay Deshaun $230 million guaranteed, or is it $250?
Guaranteed.
Oh.
Guaranteed. Fully
Man.
guaranteed.
So I say,
Emphasis on fully.
so anyway.
Adverb fully.
So you're right. Jimmy ends up going home watching TV, or the 49ers said, well, listen, if you're not doing anything else, just stay here. Now, that scares some people to death. I don't think they're going to do that, but I'm trying to figure out, like everybody else, what they're going to do about Jimmy.
Yeah. I think they're going to. I think they're just going to hold. Right now, Ronbo, I think they're just going to hold on to him till probably week 1. We'll see.
Yeah. Or they're looking for, they're hoping somebody comes up with camp casualty and they can make a deal.
Yeah.
So, but the 49ers still
now
have to pay some of that money, Brian. No team's going to say, we'll take Jimmy, but you guys got to pay some of that salary. And then the 49ers don't want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh Lord, God forbid if he's on the roster by week 1.
That means somebody screwed
There's
up.
more money we owe him, right?
Mm-hmm. 26. The whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we in for it. I'm thinking like, well. So the only way out is to cut it.
This whole thing was handled badly. Anyway.
But they're not gonna cut him because they don't want to admit they're wrong.
I know, right? So, Brian, good stuff. I'll be back Sunday looking for you. All right.
All right, Brother Ronbo. Shout out to you. Shout out to production, and shout out to the 49er Empire. We're gonna strike back, and the law is out.
Appreciate you, fam. Have a great night.
All right, Ronbo. See you Sunday.
All right. Hey, and Bethel.
Hey, what's up, Rumble?
Bethel, man, we're just sitting here and we're pondering guys that are on this team that because when you look at 90 guys, 90. It's 90 guys in that camp right now, right? Got to get rid of like a lot of people. So some of them are going to be guys that just coming in anyway for camp fodder. You know what I wonder though, Bethel? Every year, some guys that are probably not bad ball players are cut because they have no name or reputation, and they get released, and we go with the guys.
Yeah,
you almost know they'll be on the team now.
Remember what the Niners like to do. There's a little thing that the Niners like to do that we hate when they do it. Sometimes they get away with it, but sometimes they don't. Is that they release some of these guys, they get them back for
cheap
a practice squad, and then they become on the street free agency or free agent or exclusive or something like that.
Oh, exclusive.
Now we have rights to
you can
them.
protect them each and every week. Yeah, but you only protect so many.
You can protect them. Yeah, you can protect them and all that. That's why sometimes they do it. They have their little ways to kind of cheat the system, and and if something happens, and if another team wants them, you can either match it or you could or you get a draft pick out of it.
Yeah.
So and that's why sometimes what they like to do and you're like, why they do that? But, and later on, you know why. So.
Yeah, and that the IR, that used to be the favorite landing ground for people who they want to keep, but there's nothing wrong with that person. But who's going to prove that? So you put like 10, 15 guys on the IR, and they can come off week 8. If you need one again, it's like the way to keep spare parts around for your car. You got week 8, you can bring guys off the PUP and stuff like that, and there's nothing really seriously wrong with them, but you put them on the PUP or you put them on the IR. IR is permanent, though, so you got to put them on the PUP. I don't know how many players you can do that with. And the other guys you put on the practice squad, like you mentioned, and exclusive rights to protect them every week. So,
Yeah, and then another thing is that, the reason why they don't cut D Ford is because, I think the Cardinals they're missing a corner. The Seahawks are missing a corner.
You're talking about D Ford, Bethel.
I think I think the Rams are missing. So they might, one of our own division guys might try to pick up D Ford.
Yeah. Bethel, wait. I just want to make sure we're talking about you said D Ford.
Yeah, you never know. Because when players leave for our team, they do better for other teams.
It would be better for
and
our team.
Stay healthy for other teams, yeah. So
I didn't know what you were talking about. You're talking about Bethel. He can't. He's a paraplegic. The man can't play football anymore.
Yeah.
So I wish they would, especially the Rams. Rams, you can have D Ford, and don't say we never did anything for you. Oh, I love to hear. I'd be in the hospital. I have laughed myself into broken ribs. The Rams, they think they got a deal, and they're still talking trash. They got D Ford. D's gonna come over there. He's gonna bring his chair out on the field and sit down, and they're gonna say, "What are you doing?" "I'm sitting down." "Why?" "I'm back." Oh! Woo! Bethel, man, you got me on that one. I just want to make sure you talk about D Ford. Well, Bethel, explain more about that. I don't know. D Ford.
Hey, but remember, when we let go of injured players, they go to other teams. They do way better in other teams.
Well, DJ Reed. Yeah, you're right. Who else?
Yeah, look at McKinney. Look at DJ Reed. And some other players that we are like, why you couldn't do that with us? Like, why are you doing that with other teams? Like,
that's a good point.
It's.
Didn't Carlos Hyde go to Seattle too? Yeah, Hyde was over there for a minute, wasn't
he? Yeah, he did. Yeah, but every time we played them, he was injured. So
Carlos.
He was never a factor.
Carlos had his best time with the Jags and the Browns.
The Texans, they had. Yeah,
Carlos been to Texas too?
Yeah. And then another thing is that we're not going to keep Jimmy as a backup. We can't keep Jimmy as a backup.
Well, that's just it, Bethel. If Jimmy stays, he'll start.
No, he's not staying. He's not going to stay.
So he's got to go.
We're not going to keep him as a backup or anything. He's going to go because, in the first place, our fan base is going to be, if Trey does bad or anything, our fan base is going to be, like, put in Jimmy wins. And
it's a distraction.
And then the porters are going to be like, what is Kyle doing? And put in Jimmy, and there's going to be a lot of stuff, and then the players, and, it's big old distraction, and you can't have that.
But the question, in this case, and I'm pretty confident that Jimmy G is not going to find a place between now and September 1st. Do you cut him? Do the 49ers just let him go, finally?
Yeah, you got, as long as he passes his physical, and you get all that money off the books, you go, okay, Jimmy,
you're on your own.
We did what we could. You're on your own. Goodbye. And because if you see the people that supposedly want to pick him up, I think Atlanta probably wants to pick him up.
Yeah, I saw Atlanta. Hey, Tony,
could
if
probably
you get a
tell
chance
us
to reflect on that,
Yeah.
I heard about that.
And then
5 teams. There's 5
other
teams that are waiting.
Yeah, and as you check out the backup quarterbacks, you know, if he goes to the Seahawks, he'll be better than all the Seahawks quarterbacks. So you know he's gonna do good there. That's one thing. That's why you don't want Jimmy to go to the Seahawks, because he's better than the quarterbacks that they have right now.
And he knows too much about what we do. Even though the 49ers not going to do the same thing after Jimmy leaves. Oh, man, it's
How
too
many
late.
times have we lost games because another player of our team is on the other side and we get our ass whooped?
Especially the Hawks. Remember that game I remember we had a year before last? It seemed like the Hawks knew what we were going to do before we snapped the ball. Yeah. I said, you know what? How come the Hawks know everything we do? They've been getting their ass kicked every week. And this week they look like Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, because it's
Intel.
players that say a lot of stuff. Intel. So you could tell the players, oh, they're gonna do this, oh, they're gonna do that. Look for this, look for that, and then plus, imagine them watching the tape of the 49ers. He's all like, hey, you see this, you see that,
This is what they're going to do off of this. Every formation you see here, this is what happens next. That's all a quarterback's got to do. The most intelligent player on the team as far as an offense and defense goes is the quarterback. He's watching everything.
Yeah.
He plays against that defense every day in practice. And, of course, he knows what he's doing. On offense, he ran it. Bethel, we ran out of time, though. Good subject matter. You always do, though.
Yeah.
I like the D forward.
And another little funny thing that I want to say too is
real quick.
The Rudy comment last time. I said it because another channel told Rudy, so that's why I said it on this one. And another thing is that if I remember correctly, the only time I ever met a Rams fan was when they had the good running back that I actually liked. And I haven't seen a Rams fan until McVay went into the playoffs. That's the only thing. That's the only place when I started seeing Rams fans. So, I don't know what Rudy's talking about. They're in hiding. They were breeding, and they finally came out when they were good. So, and we're always hanging out. We're always out and about. So, and we're proud of our team, not like the Rams fans.
Yeah. Well,
they're hiding and they barely came out.
With those brand new shiny jerseys that have no time on them.
Yeah.
Over a decade worth of hibernation.
Yeah.
Bello, I'll see you
the
Sunday.
Like, and let's go now. All right, Ronbo, get it.
Night. Rudy's got a whole dissertation going on Twitter trying to explain why we have no right to complain about the fan following in Los Angeles. That they dwarf our attendance each and every year. If you get a chance, go to Twitter. You'll see Rudy Ramelia. They did the Ramelia. He's got it all laid out there. Spent a whole lot of time trying to prove something that helps nothing. Anyway, hey, Ellis, come on in, Ellis. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, Ellis. Ellis, it's Friday, and we're trying to hurry up and get to Tuesdays so we can have some real fun. But between now and then, we're anticipating who's going to struggle to make this team. There's some guys that you automatically know they haven't got a chance, and then you got some familiar faces that might be in there too. Any of those faces belong on your cut list?
Which ones? My bad.
Okay, no, I don't know if you had any in mind or not. Guys like Ross Dwelly, we've gotten used to for a long time.
Oh.
There's some thought that if you got too many cornerbacks in the room, the 49ers have to be careful. They've got to be real thrifty this year on body count because you want to keep Jason Verrett. But if you got some kids, we're not getting rid of Ambry Thomas. We're not getting rid. There's certain guys that are going to have to stay on this team, and Jason could be in trouble there. You look at Darquise Dennard. Do you want to keep him over the new rookies that you brought in? There's a couple of other guys too. That you look at the running back room. Actually, most people like cleaning up that running back room and just coming up, leaving 3 or 4 guys. But you and I both, Ellis, know, come week 13, 14, we're going to be calling these guys back. And people went after Dante Johnson today as well, as you probably know. But Dante says, "Man, y'all have to know I don't care because I know I'll be back at some point. They pay me whether I'm here or not, you know." But who are you thinking?
Man, it's kind of hard to say. Yeah, Darkeith Denard, I'm not really. I mean, I haven't heard anything spectacular about him.
He came in last year to help us out 1 week, as I remember.
Yeah, and I think he might have got smoked too in that process.
I think it was against the Rams. He held his own. It wasn't, like you're saying, it wasn't fantastic, but he didn't really hurt us.
Yeah.
Oh, Lenore. I forgot about Lenore.
Yeah,
nobody
Demo
talks
might
about
be
him. I think he's going to be a casualty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Demo, potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. John Lynch speaks highly of Colt McKivitz, but I don't know if
I keep forgetting about him. We didn't even mention him tonight earlier when we was talking about offensive linemen too. Hey, Rowan, remember we have McKivitz. I forgot all about McKivitz. Still, Ellis just brought him up. Oh, Jesus. No.
Yeah.
Can he play right guard, Ellis? Because Brunskill's name's been mentioned in a not a very favorable fashion, as you probably know.
That's a good question. I think he can play guard and tackle. I think center was maybe the only position that he didn't really play, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though.
No, he's a guard anyway. He's a guard.
Oh, cool.
Huge.
Oh, well, he
guard.
played he played tackle, too, though.
I used to play out of position, but
he played some tackle for us.
He's a natural guard.
Right. No, but at least he's a little flexible.
Yeah. Which they like.
It's just nothing real. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. His ability to play out of his position is always benefits our team. We like to do it.
That's what our offensive line does. McKivitz is huge, though. If he's got any athleticism, we may be surprised to find that he might be in the running.
What, for playing or getting cut?
For actually earning a spot. They've been working on McKivitz. What, we drafted him 3 years now?
This is year 3.
Yeah. They might have him up to speed. It takes some offensive linemen a little longer. I hope that's not true about Aaron Banks.
Man, don't get me started on Aaron Banks. Just big as man. He's a big boy. He's oversized.
Big. He makes Trent look. Trent ain't nobody's little man. He makes Trent look small.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what
he put on some muscle mass though. Yeah, I just hope that he got faster. Off the ball. He needs that endurance. And that experience, man, with those techniques and those different things to expect. There's a lot of veteran instincts that not all guys have early, even without the experience. So if that's not something naturally that you have, it takes a lot of experience. It takes the ability to be real studious and have the right teachers and models in front of you that you can learn those kind of things from. Look out for this, watch out for that. When you see him do this, that's coming. To be on the lookout for that. Switch your feet like this. Whatever the case may be.
And you got to have the mindset to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not just there's not really a base only kind of technique that you can just utilize every damn time, because guys are going to come different. I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, guys are coming in attacking the ball differently, and you got to be able to defend differently. So, it's a big job,
especially in Kyle's offense. And you got to get out into space, and that's why they wouldn't let him play right guard last year. People keep saying, well, if he doesn't understand the playbook, no, he's like Ellis just said, he's not. He's been doing left side all his life. And you put him on the right, you can get somebody hurt that he's supposed to be protecting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of up in the air. I'm really looking forward to seeing our was it is it Jason Poe?
Yeah, he's everybody's mystery fave. Yeah, Show's
Man,
got
when
him
I see
started,
him
right
running those
guy.
routes and carrying that ball, we need people like that on the field, period. And if he was looking really good, I heard Show say something about him, looking real good against, was it the Alabama, he said?
Yeah.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He looks like, it's a certain type of player, a certain type of, grit and, the ability to not give an F that a player can have to where they take on anybody. I don't care who it is, just the number one team in the nation down to the last team, whichever division, it don't matter. I'm putting you down. You're not getting to my quarterback. You're not going to get the best of me at this position in this play. You know what I mean? And repeating that cycle throughout the whole damn game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't see
he's got
him going
a chip
anywhere.
on his shoulder from being a UDFA. He's kind of short, so that's going to make him bust butt harder than anybody on that offensive line. I like that. Put him out there.
And he plays a little bit of center too. Is that right?
Somebody mentioned that earlier. I didn't know that. I guess.
I think he might play a little bit of center too. We need that flexibility, and I hope we can get him going early, Ronbo. I don't want him to sit, on the practice squad or, any of that kind of stuff. I would like him to get in the rotation as long as he's, as long as he's able to sustain the position and play it well, you know what I mean? And we don't have, really any drawback. But to get that experience early, I think is really good for a player like him. Because the offensive line is going to be important in the years to come, even more important, I think, as we move forward. We got Trent, his contract. We only got him so many years at this level that he's going to play at. I think, honestly, 3-4 more seasons, Trent, we could possibly get this level of, a player. But at some point, we're going to need some of these other guys to come in and kind of pick up where he left off. Hopefully, I know he's a one of one, but we can also get some guys to really, come in for him and play some sound ball. And then that other young rookie I like, who's hitting the splits and doing all that other stuff. He's
Dude,
raw.
he's amazing.
I like him.
And he's too athletic to let go.
So.
And Ellis, you could use him offensively in other ways too. He can. If you send him out on a route in the end zone like they tried to do with Trent Williams last year, he's gonna make the play. Trent is just out there because he's big and athletic, but this guy actually has skills. When they had him running routes and catching the ball, I was blown away. That's the way how much that dude weighed, and how come he looks so light on his feet? That's not normal. I said, you can't cut this guy.
Yeah. Him and that other young kid, I can't remember his name. He's a tackle. We got him, was it the 5th or 6th round as a lineman?
Zakel?
I can't remember. No. It's like I said, it's a kid that I seen that had hit the splits after one of his games and stuff like that. Very light on his feet. I forgot his name.
I saw
I
this
can't
guy
remember his name. I remembered
before the draft.
He's really.
I forgot it.
He looks really good.
I know what you're talking about.
He looks really good. Yeah, but so him in the offensive line, I'm just, I'm really just looking for us to make sure that we can hold that. We can be able to hold the fort up real nice and tidy and stuff for Trey in his introduction year. And I don't really know who's going to be a cut candidate yet. I think it's kind of up in the air. I think more of the guys in the secondary are going to probably fall off. We got this T Martin or Tay Martin that I keep hearing about, wide receiver guy. We're not going to be able to keep all these guys, so it's going to be hard to see who we actually have. You know what I mean? I don't really know right now.
We'll have it better. This is just one of those nights where we're just finding things to talk about. We'll better know in about 2 or 3 weeks. So, all right, fam. Before 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning comes out on the East Coast, we're gonna go. All right.
Yeah, man. I just ate this peach cobbler Ronbo with some vanilla ice cream, man. I'm over here finished right now.
Cobbler, man.
After the meatloaf with the mashed potatoes, man, I'm finished.
Yes, gosh, yes.
I gotta go walk it out. Walk it out.
Country dinner, I love it. All right.
All right, man. Make sure I hit that like, man. Subscribe, man.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to all the Niner faithful and Rudy, you're a loser. And
I know. Yeah, that's stuff they're writing up. Anyway,
he's bored. But peace and love, y'all. Hit that like, man.
All right, Bill.
Catch you on the next one, fam.
Shout out to that squad. Looking forward to you
Appreciate
Sunday. All right.
Yes, sir. Peace.
I just want to say, listen, Rams, your population compared to that of the Bay Area is like what, 2-3 times the size. So proportionately, you're not doing well. So let's not get carried away with the numbers. I mean, oh, hey, Howard.
Hold on.
My dog.
A big dog. Big dog.
Howard always.
What's cracking?
I remember sitting there looking at like who's going to make this team and who is played their last snap, and because Howard, we can already assume some of the guys coming in trying to get a job probably won't be able to beat people out, but you never know. So you got any names you suspect that might be saying goodnight?
Well, it won't be any running backs. I can assure you that.
It shouldn't be, right? Can't afford any to lose. It takes too long to learn what we do as far as running backs go. It is a scary thing. Howard? Got a connection problem. Howard. Rams, Ronbo know we run the play. I don't know how they think that. Especially when all people were crying about it. We've got to stop selling tickets to 49er fans. Please. Okay, to me, that says it all. I don't know why you Rams fans think otherwise. If the quarterback's wife has to plead in the area to get people to please stop selling tickets to the 49ers, it says something. Tony, come on in, man. Why do they continue to say things to incriminate themselves? It's amazing. They saw what happened.
Ronbo, you got to be cracking up, man.
It's funny.
About what you're saying now, Stafford's wife?
Yes. The good woman was in tears.
And then what you said earlier about D4.
And Bethel set that one up. That was the easy comedy. I mean, go ahead. You guys want D4? Please. And you know what? I think fans would chip in if you want us to help pay some of his salary, too. God, yes.
Hey, Ronbo, earlier in the chat, Rudy was in the chat, and I was saying, hey, Rudy, congratulations again. Hey, man, I hope y'all keep celebrating. Y'all the 2021 champs.
Yeah.
Tell your team keep celebrating, these next 5-6 weeks celebrating.
Yeah.
So Rudy obviously got out the chat, and then you got a guy named Bobo came in. And he said in the comment, he says, well, right now we're going to play a little game. It's called Guess Rudy's Weight. He said, and Rudy, when you come on, Rudy, call in. When you come on, tell the chat who the winner is. And then Bobo says he guesses 420 pounds.
Hey, the killer was also Rudy came in and said when you told him about that letter, the reason, we sent out notices to all the 49er fans in appreciation of actually coming in and patronizing SoFi Stadium, buying our. When I read the part about buying our Rams pennants, I had to pause.
Oh yeah,
I said,
I put in the chat when he said that. I put in the chat. I said, but Rudy, everybody knows that the Los Angeles Chargers own SoFi Stadium, and the Rams are paying them rent.
Honestly,
I pipe that in there.
Tony, the Lakers and Dodgers still own Los Angeles. The Rams are getting whatever's nuts that they don't take.
Yep. Who has the better quarterback in Los Angeles? It ain't Matthew Stafford.
I know, right? Stafford is the most lucky. He got away last year, week after week. He had that one stretch when it wasn't working, and the picks were ending up, everybody's getting a pick six. Stafford's doing a pick six a week for about a 3 or 4 game stretch. And I says, you know what? How much they paying Stafford? You know, that's one thing about throwing a pick. But Stafford's picks result in points almost all the time. Now that has got to hurt. So,
and then you are what you are. And that's not going to go away just because they won the Super Bowl. They got lucky because they shouldn't have beat you guys, and they shouldn't have beat the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
They got lucky in both of them.
It was their year. That's, you know, sometimes that's all it takes. Your year.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ronbo, I guess a published report out. I guess your team, the 49ers, are giving Jimmy permission to seek a trade. And then it was some of these publications talking about
Atlanta?
Jimmy to the Falcons. I'm like, no. We already got a quarterback.
You saw that then, right? Now, I figured it was more media humbug, but 5 teams, and I said, now, why would the Falcons? So you know that's a joke.
Yeah. It's somebody doing clickbait or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not true.
You know what? If I had to bet, Tony, Jimmy G gets released before September, whatever the first game is. Don't you, Tony? I'm a GM. If I hire Jimmy, he knows nothing about my office. He just came off of surgery. I'm not sure about that, and I got to pay him $20-something million. And every owner in the league is probably telling Jim, "Listen, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your business, but I am telling you this. I don't want to hear anything about you and the 49ers coming up with any plans with Jimmy Garoppolo." No, I wasn't thinking about it. I mean, come on, and take a complete idiot. I just want to make sure. You know, nobody's going to do that. I mean,
I think the Giants would be a good fit for him with a trade because the Giants, they still got 4 good receivers.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, they don't have any anymore, but they let them go. They still got 4 very talented receivers.
But do they like to spend money? They were talking about not renewing Jones's contract. Do they have a lot of high price? Who?
Just Saquon Barkley, but that was before he got hurt. They paid him.
Yeah. The Giants aren't famous for a lot of high profile players, I notice. And they know they're not ready to contend just yet. Now, they got, like we talked about last year, they got a great, but they're more than a quarterback away from contending. They've got a great defensive line, though, that should have did better last year, right?
Yep.
Because you and I agreed on that last year. I was a little concerned about how good their defensive line was because we wanted them to beat the Cowboys, who most of us are sick and tired of. And, of course, the Cowboys, who get a lot of love for being in that division, went in and beat up the Giants as per usual. And the the Giants, who else is in that division?
The Eagles and the Commanders.
Okay, so it looks like they're through. It's going to be funny because this year, this could be the telling year, though, Tony. I think it's over as far as a cakewalk in Philadelphia for the Cowboys. Can't wait to see
the Cowboys are a show and a joke. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, I do just because I get tired of them in that division. And that's why people, you know what, Dak Prescott, if we had him, we'd have. So listen, guys, before you start telling me about how great Dak Prescott is compared to Jimmy, he plays in the NFC. What? And who's in that division? And, you know, he'll win that again this year without even having to play. He can miss a few weeks and they'd still win the division, right? Jimmy plays in NFC West.
Dak reminds me of Matt Jones. They think and dunk. They can't go deep. They're mirror images of each other.
Yeah.
Matt Jones and Dak Prescott.
You know,
and Rudy, I'm not crying, Rudy. I'm laughing. And yes, you guys did get lucky last year.
They know it. Rudy, you know it. Yeah. Rudy's on the phone now. Let Rudy in. Let's make this a 3-way debate. You know, because Rudy,
celebrate, Rudy.
Come on in, Rudy, and get your whooping. See,
celebrate. Keep celebrating.
Rudy, we're trying to find you. Yeah.
Hold on. Can you see me?
No, we can't see, but we can hear you. Rudy, some of the things you've said tonight in the chat were pretty outrageous.
Hey, wait, hold on, Ronbo, real quick. Who was Tony talking about? Bozo or whoever who was saying something?
Who?
Somebody was saying something about me, Bozo or something. He was laughing.
Oh,
Bobo.
no,
Bobo.
yeah. Oh, yeah, Bobo.
That
Bobo had
was
a contest.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I call him Bozo. Maybe I should stand up so he can see what else is big.
But Rudy, though, that was a funny joke, man. You got to admit that, man. The way he said,
the jealous bastards of the NFC West. You know,
The what?
all they do is they go off of different. Well, you know what? You got black hair. Oh, you know what? You got cheap shoes. They don't understand that the pecking order has changed, and especially you, Tony. I mean, come on now. You're saying the Rams were lucky. I mean, I guarantee you
they were.
The Falcons would be lucky. I guarantee you wish the Falcons would be that lucky.
Rudy.
But Rudy, in that Super Bowl, Mixon was getting a rhythm, man. He was getting 4 or 5 yards a pop. They stopped running. Mixon had like 78 yards. If they'd have kept feeding Mixon instead of throwing, he was going to break one, man. You got to admit that now.
Because you guys don't do good against the run.
They stopped running.
That's what I'm telling you. See, it doesn't matter. The Rams won the Super Bowl, and people still trying to talk smack, and we just look over at the Lombardi Trophy.
Y'all won. No.
And
I'm giving y'all flowers. Y'all won.
The biggest ring in NFL championship history, the best ring ever made.
Here we go with the history. Here we go.
And that's not me. That's not me lying. See, Tony, you like to say, "Oh, this and that," but half of the stuff you say, man, it's wrong. You were wrong all last year. You were wrong about Stafford.
No.
You were wrong about your. I mean, I can. I can have 2 pages of wrongs when it comes to you and the Rams.
How many interceptions did Stafford throw last year?
Tell me I'm lying, man.
Rudy, you know.
How many interceptions he threw?
Rudy, I want to ask you a question too. Are you thinking that that's going to be the case this year? If Stafford goes out there throwing all them INTs and pick sixes like he likes to do, you did escape, Rudy.
I told you that Stafford was 4 interceptions off of Joe Montana's best year. Plus, he threw 10 more.
Yeah, but Joe Montana's not playing anymore. That's not helping your argument any.
Well, it does help because you got to look at it in perspective. Joe Montana never had a good run game, or did he have a good run game? Was he balanced? Was it a balanced offense?
We had Roger. He had Roger Craig.
Akers was hurt. Stafford, I mean, it's ridiculous that you want us to explain that we won the Super Bowl.
No, you don't need to explain it. But you know what? If you would humble up just a tiny bit, you might not get such a. You know, you guys, because if you guys, if Jimmy and my left tackle are healthy, you guys know there's no way you make it past the 49ers. You have to know that.
Like Kobe Bryant said, excuses are for losers.
No, I'm just letting you know that you got blessed. You did.
Well, we were very blessed. We're very blessed.
I mean, look at the 2 games before that. You guys got blown out when you came to San Francisco. We spotted you 17-3 and came back and got you. I mean, honestly, Rudy.
And then we
took. My quarterback needed to be in hospital, damn near, with my left tackle dragging one leg.
Ronbo.
I'm looking forward to week 2. That's all I got to say. Atlanta at LA Rams. Atlanta is a good football team, no matter what the outside world says, because I know what we got. Stay tuned, Rudy.
Tony, if this Ram team was at the Falcons, you'd be high as hell. You'd be like, we're going to win it again. We're going to, but because it's the Rams and you're a hater, you don't want to see the truth. I mean, you even talk smack about Jalen Ramsey.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. The Rams are good football. The Rams are a good football team, but Jalen Ramsey ain't the best corner. Jalen Ramsey is a corner that sometimes is good, that sometimes play great. He is not a great corner. Think about what I just said.
The one thing, well, I mean, it really doesn't matter what you say, because Ramsey is a Super Bowl champion. He's one of the reasons why.
You always fall back on that same. Hey, you know what? Cooper Kupp is a good ball player. Whitworth was a good offensive lineman. Also, Aaron Donald. There needs nothing can be bad said about him. Even what's your other edge rusher?
Rams got some good football players.
Leonard Floyd.
Yeah. I like him too. In fact, I wanted him that year. He got drafted. All right. And Rudy, you know what?
Check this out, Ronbo, real quick. Look, here in we're just chilling. The Rams were at the ESPYs chilling. The TV loves them. The media darlings. We just unveiled our rings yesterday. Amazing time.
Keep partying the next 5 weeks.
In LA, we feel that we're early. That's not even the best Rams team. This is the best Rams team that's going to be now year 2 with McVay. Now, Tony was saying last year the same things. Oh, Ronbo, I got some news. Next week, I'm going to tell you how the Rams are going to lose. Well, what happened? Bueller, championship. Now, same thing this year because we're going to be better on offense. We're going to have a running game now. Stafford's going to cut some of the interceptions and have possibly a season. But he was good anyway last year. The man threw 41 touchdowns, won the chip. You saw for yourselves on national TV. All the Aaron Rodgers and all those quarterbacks are watching Stafford do his thing, and he won the chip.
Rudy.
And you still don't give him love. Amazing. Talk about interceptions after he won the chip.
Because he throws the ball. What's his average? How many times does he throw the ball a game?
Well, last year he had to throw more than usual because we didn't have a running game, like I said. How hard is it to win the NFL without a running game?
So, you throw the ball that many times.
Okay, let me pick Tony apart right there. Ronbo says, how many times do you throw the ball? And you say, about 45. And then Tony's laughing, forgetting in the back of his head that we're Super Bowl champions. What if he threw 1,000 times and we won the chip? What does it matter? Amazing. It's amazing that you get the funniest.
No, I just want to know. I just want to define what inflated stats look like.
Keep resting on those laurels from 2021. Keep thinking about 2021. That's all I got to say. Keep celebrating. But I tell you this, week 2, when Atlanta comes to LA, the best corner on the field ain't gonna be Jalen Ramsey. It's AJ Terrell. Stay tuned.
Who? I do like Donald. Who?
You guys, we got to wrap it up. All right. So anyway, Rudy and Tony, you guys, we're gonna go, and I'll look for you Sunday, and we can continue this debate.
Well, God bless you, Ronbo. I unfortunately you brought me in with Tony because I had my Aaron Donald avatar set up with the Ring Me picture.
Okay, well that's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why I instructed my folks to go ahead and not.
Good talking to you, Rudy, man. It's always good fun. Ronbo, you're a class act as always.
Thanks, man.
And Rudy, you never answer Bobo's question.
I don't answer Bobo's question. He can come to my channel so I can light him up. But anyway.
God.
Ronbo, I'll see you Sunday, Ronbo.
All right, looking forward to it, Tony.
I'll see you Sunday.
Ronbo, I just want to tell you, Ronbo, before we go, thank you for letting me on.
Yeah.
We believe in LA that the best is yet to come for this team because it's year 2 with McVay. And as you know, year 2 is better usually because now Stafford knows the playbook like the back of his hand. We have Allen Robinson. We have some key elements that we didn't have last year. Yes, we have a challenge with Whitworth, but we have Bobby Wagner. So, I mean, we went through the tough injuries last year. It was a tough climb, but we did it, and that's why we're so confident this year. So we'll see what happens. But also, if we don't win this year, we're set up for the next couple years. So we'll see what happens. We ain't going away anytime soon. And we'll see what happens, Ronbo. And,
but you're going away now. Really,
Ronbo,
I'll see. I got to go.
Don't bring me out with Tony no more because he don't have nothing to say except for well, I believe this, I believe that. God bless him, props to him, but he's wrong when it comes to the Rams. He might know about football, but he's totally wrong. Talk about an NFL all-pro like Ramsey. Ramsey's ass, he says. Come on.
All right. No Von Miller, by the way, either. All right. Anyway, Rudy, have a great night, and we'll see you later.
God bless Ronbo.
Yeah. Hey, Clarence.
Hey, Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
Clarence, we're sitting here. We're looking at the guys that are coming in to compete for a job this year to wear that 49er uniform and get that locker key. And some of the names have been mentioned earlier tonight. You've got a number of people. Who are some of the people you could see actually say it without mentioning some of those guys? But the running back rooms, the defensive line, the offensive line. Where are we going to trim the fat this year? And some of the guys, some of the surprise names. Do you have any anticipated right now?
No, not really. Not really necessarily anticipated because you have to find out really what with you have a brand new special teams coordinator out there.
Oh, that's
He's got to
true.
pick his guys out of there.
That's
So
a good
so they're basically who's left is who's not going to be on your core special teams. So you know Jeffrey Wilson Jr. is going to be there because he's a core special teamer. He's always on. He's always going to be there. So you got to think about that. Hasty, that's one of those. Like I was thinking about Hasty. He might be a quote unquote an odd man out because you already got Mitchell, you got TDP, you got Sermon, and then let's see, and you got Jeffrey Wilson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's obviously some.
There's some other guys
and lower round draft picks that I forgot their names at this point, but you have those, and that's going to go all the way across the board in all positions. You're going to have that. You're going to have that weeding out process, and basically some of those guys will just be get cut, and if they don't, they go through waivers, they'll be on the practice squad.
Yeah, and come back a few minutes later.
Yeah, like that. Dante.
Dante just checks in, and I don't think he's got like a door key. He keeps his key even after he leaves on after that day, 53-man roster day.
Well, like I said, Dante's figured it out for himself. It's like, I'll play. It's like I'll still play. I'm still good. The thing is. If you notice, like especially last year when we brought him back in, remember in the very beginning about Dante? It's like, oh man, Dante's in the game now. Ah, jeez, here we go. It's like he's always going to get burnt, or he's always have a holding
he's
penalty
changed
or
that though, Clint.
Pass interference.
But he's changed
last year.
Right? Dramatic change.
Fit right in, and he contributed. So you never know. He may be on the roster this year.
Would that be funny?
But like I said, Dante's got a good dig.
We cut somebody else and Dante makes it. Okay, hey, do you remember Colton McKivitz?
Yes.
I'd forgotten all about him. Somebody mentioned, Ellis mentioned him, I think, earlier. I'd forgotten all about him.
Yeah.
We were counting guys on the offensive line. I forgot about him because people think that Brunskill may be on the outs. Is Brunskill staying on this team?
I don't know. It depends on that tendonitis, to be honest with you. Is he
Yeah,
got
how
tendonitis
serious is
right
that?
now or something like that?
I heard about that. I didn't know how bad it
issue.
was. I hadn't heard anything about that. Or didn't read anything about that, should I say.
It'll depend. It'll depend if the youngins can get up to speed and beat him out. Because, you got, Aaron Banks. You got Donovan West. You got Jason Poe. You got, who else? Who else am I missing?
Jalen?
Jalen Moore.
Yeah, Moore.
So you got all those guys. If any of those guys can beat out Brunskill, there you go. It's like, cause like I said another podcast a while back. Kyle is trying to find his offensive line to mold to fit what he wants to do. Because he had what's his name, that didn't work out because he was injured. Richburg, heaven forbid.
Oh, Weston. And Weston was really good too. Unfortunately, he was mind-blowing injuries.
Yeah. Ooh. He was good for that. He was good he was supposed to be good for the 19th season when we went to the bowl, but
he didn't make it.
There you go.
We ended up with Captain. There's a trivia question. What was Captain? What was his name? That came in to finish up the season.
Jeez. Trivia question. The one from the Air Force, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one from the Air Force. Yeah. Yeah, he did okay. Garland. Ben Garland.
Yeah, Captain Ben Garland. He wasn't awful, Garland, but he wasn't
right.
like the guy that he replaced. So, the offensive line is always going to be the story. And if we got a good offensive line, we'll probably do fine. And the Rams will have to be quiet if we do come in with a good offensive line because the Rams don't have anything to stop the 49ers.
Amelia, I swear.
I mean, come on. They win 1 out of 7 times, and now we got to hear this.
Yeah, I know. It's like let him glow, let him bask in his first Super Bowl in a while. His team's only got 2
in L.A. First Super Bowl ever. The other one was in St. Louis.
Oh yeah. So exactly. Like what I'm saying for the franchise. They got 2, but we still got 5.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it's been a while. It's been a long while since we had our 5.
And we've had a couple of chances to increase. They'll get it. It's like I said. It's not. It's tough to get to the Super Bowl. If you can get a team together that can get to the Super Bowl, they have every bit of the capability to win as the other team. But you got to remember, the team that's coming to meet you, they got the same aspiration. So, it's going to be tough. And whoever flinches is usually the team that's going to lose.
Or, whoever is healthiest.
And then there's that.
At the end of the day, and then there's that. We've always had to deal with that in one way, shape, or form. And then obviously.
And so that's why I say if Trey looks workable within now and the next 4 years, and he doesn't win a Super Bowl, let's not keep switching quarterbacks. That's not what's going on. Well, this quarterback, he can't get us over the hump. Oh, God. He got there. If you get there, that's already that's 90% of the battle, So
right, exactly. Like I said, and I think Trey will do fine. Like I said, Kyle will set up the offense the way it's something that's going to be for him, and just go from there. Like I said, he needs reps. That's the thing.
Experience is everything.
He just needs reps. He just needs to play. Just let the boy play.
Experience is everything.
Hash it out that way. That's
get the
only
lumps.
way to do it.
And the scary thing is he's going to be under a lot of pressure, though, because he needs to win this year. Otherwise, why are we getting rid of the guys who are on the team? And so I worry about that pressure on him, and can he handle that? Because if we don't win this year, we got to at least get to the playoffs. If we don't, there's going to be a lot of rough talk. So
it seems like he could, because he comes from a sports family. So they, they've got that mentality in them, from the jump. I don't know what happened to Dante Pettis, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Glad we got to go, though. Before the sun comes up. So let's tell you what, I'm looking for your Sunday.
Yeah, no doubt. What is it? It's 12:30 here in Denver. What the heck?
I know. I've got to get started earlier. I'm going to do best.
I'm out driving lifting Uber tonight, so it's all good.
All right. It's Friday, so it's okay.
All right, my man. Take care. God bless you, sir.
You too. Thanks, fam. Night.
Bye.
And Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony.
What's wrong with that Rudy bloke?
Well, Rudy, we need to be a little more sympathetic toward him. Tony, here's the thing. The guy has struggled miserably under us for a long, long time. And I understand.
He couldn't even beat Nick Mullins, man. What's wrong with him?
So we have to understand. He's been through a lot of pain. This is his shining hour. We only got to put up with a couple more weeks.
Very soon. Going to start again very soon.
I know. So, he's got to have his fun. And,
When he can't beat Nick Mullins, how are you going to beat bloody this young kid?
So, it's going to be fun to watch. And he says they're better now than they were Super Bowl 2020.
Yeah. Well, and what are we?
Yeah,
we got backwards.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. And according Rudy, that we should have never won in the first place. And all those years were a fluke that they got eliminated. So,
Every time they got swept, there was a fluke.
Yeah.
Jimmy got swept by Chip Kelly, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, the only 2 games we won that year were his club.
Yeah.
So, it's been fun. And Jimmy, I think, could have beat that team in his pajamas, but he does need his help. He's got to have his arm and his hand, and he needs his left tackle. And after that, he doesn't need anything else, really. Pads, no helmet. He could still. The Rams just don't. They can't do anything with him. And they barely got away as it was. So it'll continue in a few weeks. So we put him right back in his place.
Free to shop around.
Yeah, he's having
fun.
Been
given the green light, which tells me that either Shanahan or the training staff or whoever's in an important position there have seen enough of Trey Lance that they just said to Jimmy, all right, you can go looking.
I heard they told him that back in March, too, to let him make his own deal. Because the thing is, the 49ers don't seem to be busting butt trying to do that deal, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what the thinking is behind that. They had a few deals that they were very nonchalant about and said, well, didn't go through. Jimmy's going to have surgery. That kind of sort of threw a wrench in the works. And then it got debunked because remember John Lynch came out and says, yeah, we got a couple of deals going in the pipe right now. Okay, well, why don't you guys go ahead and do that? And then people said, well, Jimmy probably didn't want to go. Okay, well, you know what? Jimmy doesn't want to be in San Francisco anymore, I can guarantee you that. So why wouldn't he want to go? Anyway, we'll see how this works out. I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to pick him up this late, and they're not going to give the 49ers any capital for him. So I don't know what they're going to do. 49ers have to let him go.
Won't.
Just cut him.
But there was a stat they posted, minimum with best win percentage as a starting QB, minimum 40 starts.
Mm.
Patrick Mahomes was up there at 79.4, followed by Tom Brady, 79.6%. Then Lamar Jackson, 75.5. Then Roger Staubach at 74.6. Then Joe Montana.
The whole time. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jimmy Garoppolo's behind Joe Montana at 70.2. But I would actually put him in front of Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson hasn't been to a Super Bowl or a playoff game, has he?
I think, well, they're going by winning percentage, I guess. Who's number
winning
one?
Percentage.
Brady's up there. Yeah, see, that's got to be winning percentage.
Brady's second. Patrick Mahomes is number one.
So that would figure. Mahomes hasn't had a losing season since he arrived in the NFL, right?
These teams aren't stupid. They know Jimmy's stats and things like that. Oh, someone will pick him up. I just hope it's not Seattle.
Everybody does, because, people think that the Jimmy Garoppolo they've seen in San Francisco and this particular program is all there is to him. Jimmy Garoppolo did fine and when he was with Belichick. Belichick even said, I wouldn't have used him like Kyle did. Jimmy did fine, even though the program was probably not the best for him. So if he goes somewhere else and they give him free reign to throw the ball like Stafford does or some of these other guys, I got a feeling you'll see more of what you saw when he was with the Patriots. But that's neither here nor there right now. So I don't want to see him with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Not with the receivers they got.
What are we going to do with the offensive line, Ronbo?
God knows. Everybody's worried about that.
Well, apparently they reckon it's going to be a good lineup.
Well, I need to see Banks. Well, they see it more than we do, right? I just know I need that huge mountain of a man can take care of that left side next to Trent Williams. If that's the case, that's a potent left side.
Williams made a comment the other day about the center. Is it Jake Brendel?
Yeah. What did he say about him?
He said to him that he was too tired to even make a comment or worry about something, but he seemed to say, who the hell is that dude? He didn't recognize him. And the guy asked him in the podcast, he said, man, I'm telling you, his first step, he is quick.
Yeah.
He is really quick.
Because that's
Williams
not when he started out playing.
With his quickness.
Yeah.
I suppose that's going to be our center.
Yeah, he is. Jake played another position. At one point, he was considered too lean for a center, and he's beefed up. But he's athletic, very athletic. So we may be fine with him.
Coming in at 290 pounds, 99 pounds now, so or something like that.
He's just got to lift. 290 is big enough. You just got to be strong. If he weighed 270 or something like that, I'd be concerned. 290 is fine.
And then you got Spencer Burford, 6'5". He's a big unit.
Yeah. And
who else have we got? Forget about McGlinchey.
Listen, Tony, you're the reason why he comes in with an attitude to those media conferences. I love to see Mike to those media conferences. He's probably chilled out now. I just saw he saw a shrink. You heard about that, right? Mike was getting therapy.
He needs one. He's probably walking around at home with a skirt on and somebody saw him. Said, "You need help, buddy. Go to the shrink."
It accidentally answered the door and didn't realize it wasn't who we expected. No, because, hey, Tony, I'm telling you right now, McGlinchey's going to be a monster this year. Why? Because he takes it personally, what's being said about him, unlike some people. And that's why he used to sit down in those media conferences looking all pissed off. He'd heard everything that was said, in which he shouldn't do. This is why he ended up in therapy. So he's going to come out a man possessed. I got a feeling he's going to look good.
I don't know.
I hope so.
He's going to try.
Yeah, hopefully.
But whether his quad, his legs are going to let him or not, that's a different story.
Yeah, they're not.
And then, I want to see this Poe kid because I heard this guy's running routes or something. What the
yeah. I tell you, you got to see that footage.
What the hell?
Just go to YouTube. You'll see this guy light on his feet. He's making cuts. Tony, the guy's running and they're throwing him the ball. He catches it. I said, really? That guy weighs 300 pounds? Oh, Kyle, you got to keep him, no matter what.
Yeah, you got to keep him.
Well, Tony,
what else you got? School. But have a look. I sent you a clip if you want to have a fucking. Oh, excuse me. If you want to have a good laugh with. Skip and Shannon giving it to him hard about what's his name?
What they call it, the greatest debate of all time between those two? Yeah,
Bosa. But he's giving it to him about Bosa. Skip Bayless, get it. Oh,
I just realized I was Skip and Stephen A. Smith, one of the greatest debates of all time. I saw that on my feed. And because it happened a long time ago, right? But Skip and the Cowboys automatically makes him a lightning rod. All Shannon's got to do is sit back and wait. And the Cowboys
still think they've got a chance to get Debo.
They're not going to get it. Idiot. Well, Jerry Jones will pick him up in a heartbeat if he gets a chance. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tony, it looks like I got to get out of here. I tell you what, always great to hear from you. You know this. I'll look for you Sunday.
All right, brother. Shout out to everyone and see you in the next chapter.
Thank you, Tony. Looking forward to it. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Tony. Well, fam, that's enough. I'll let you go get something to drink. Go to bed. Yeah, late night cocktails are okay. A little vino. I like red myself. I'll see you Sunday. And I'm telling you right now, if they don't pay Debo in the next 24 hours, all hell is going to break loose. We'll talk about that. All right, fam. Thanks for contributions tonight. And also, don't forget to subscribe, please. And share. And hit like. And especially you Rams fans, you guys don't have anything else to do without us. Niner!